Bene, molto bene.
And then everybody will hear the two recordings, so I'm not crazy, because I'm really mad that recorded so good and last week's was not so good at all.
That crap happens because you should, like, after I first got this mic, that's like the whole freaking talking into a fan thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had that for like 2 weeks. Didn't know how to fix it. And it just kind of went away.
Oh, beautiful.
It was from this specific mic, and it's like, why are you doing this? And it's like, I was doing the YouTube videos back then, and it's like, oh my, it's like what, 4 or 5 like Fallout 4 videos that just got, the audio was like trash because of it. And it's like, I can't do anything. Here you go. Screw it. Yeah, screw my life. So yeah. And then, like I said, started recording, and it just went away. It's like,
yeah, it's weird. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, because, PC Master Race, everybody. Am I right? Am I right?
See what I did there?
Yeah, no. Good God. And like I said, a lot of these freaking console noobs buying into the whole PC thing. Or console people buying into the PC thing. Freaking D2 getting, like, an adjustment patch, like, every freaking week now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I don't PC game anymore. From the looks of it, nothing's changed. Jesus. I had this problem like 15 years ago in PC gaming. Screw it. I'm not going through it again.
You can't make me.
And that's back when I actually used to be able to troubleshoot problems. Things like Sound Blaster audio compatibility. Because that was a sound card from back in the day. That's right, we had sound cards. Ah.
Oh, I remember sound cards with PC gaming.
I know, right?
If you didn't have the best sound card, it just sounded like shit.
And not only that, if you didn't, there was a chance that your sound card wasn't even on a list of compatible sound cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were screwed. Because you either had to use MIDI audio or nothing.
And we all know that sounds like garbage.
I forget MIDI audio. Your computer literally beeping at you. It's like...
No. Knock it off is what they're telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. So, yeah. It's like, yeah, y'all people go ahead and keep talking about all these PC patches. Uh-huh. Yep, that's why I'm not. I'm going to let y'all have at it over there. I don't care how good it feels. It's fine.
So you're another frames per second kind of guy?
I mean, they look pretty, yeah, but it's not necessary. Because legitimately, if you're not doing like a fighting game, there's not really a whole lot of reasons to go with a more responsive frame rate. I mean, it helps, but it's not like key defining. I mean, good God. And dude, did you hear that Paladins news? Oh my God.
Oh, what, the new character?
The new card system? No, the new card system.
I have not.
Oh my God, dude, OB64?
Yeah?
They're redoing the card system like entirely again.
Really?
Yeah. They're getting rid of Essence.
Huh.
They're getting rid of Essence as a currency. They are like...
We're getting the Paladins talk out of the way pretty quick.
Which, I mean, I gotta say, because the way they do the loadouts now, they give you like, what I think they said, like 12 points to do to make a loadout.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that anymore. You put a card into your loadout. And by getting duplicate cards instead of getting essence out of it, you can actually level up that card.
Oh.
So when you level up that card, if it's in your loadout, it does like X thing. It's kind of like putting points into it. They're like adjusting like some of the stuff to add like a 5th tier of points, or a 5th tier of card. But so basically in quick play or the casual, you can have all of your cards level 5. Every single one in your loadout could be level 5.
Really?
Yeah. So you can be like OP to the max in quick play. But in competitive, all your cards are like equalized to level 3.
Okay.
So that way it's like no matter what you put in your loadout, it's all going to be at level 3. So you pick the cards and just roll with it. And the hilarious thing, even legendaries are getting levels.
Really?
So they're adding more, like legendaries are going to be able to do even more.
Get the
So it's like
out of here.
So which, to be fair, I mean, a lot of people's problems with Paladin is the fact that it changes very quickly. And, this is going to, like...
Change everything.
This is rearranging the landscape yet again. Not super drastically, but I really like the fact that they're doing something to really separate the quick play and the competitive other than, like, just mindsets, really. Because in quick play, you can have, like I said,
You can have
all of your cards completely maxed out and then run around like totally overpowered. So yeah, that is going to be fun and amazing.
That sounds pretty fucking awesome, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. And it's like any essence that you have, they're giving to you as gold in a 1-to-1 ratio.
Wow.
Yeah. So, holy balls. But because it's changing so much, that like it's going to be in the PTS for like, I think it's coming out on PC for like the 6th. I think is when it's going to drop. But yeah, it's a holy ball.
Do you hear that?
Oh my god, that doesn't sound like it's talking to a fan. That sounds like it's getting tossed into a wood chipper.
Yeah. And that little bit in the background, that's you talking.
Fantastic.
And now let's go to the audio we just recorded. Well, before we started this recording, rather.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Instead of going, oh hey, this is how was your holiday, friends, and then this is a thing, it's coming out the 12th. And this is a thing.
Yeah, that's how terrible it was. So, it was not because I wanted to. It was because I had to. Now I feel better about myself because I was tripping for a second when I heard that good-ass audio all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Am I going crazy right now, or is this okay? Because I think this is okay.
This piece of garbage right here, man. What in the world? What are you trying to do to me?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like I heard that audio and I was like, oh god, no, I can't do it. I can dogs barking, lawnmowers, kids talking, fucking ice cream trucks, construction. I can deal with a lot, but that audio was horrible, and I was like, nope.
I know. That's oh my Jesus. Oh
man. Okay, so now that we know everything is good, what do you say we talk about some Destiny, huh?
Indeed, we can, because by God, as you said, the negativity for the time has come to a quiet, almost as if Bungie spoke freaking gospel.
Dude,
like, holy crap, man!
It was literally like that. Like I was like, oh man, okay, cool. They dropped some info. I read a little bit of it, and I was like, no one's talked shit on Destiny today. It was just
it's
ghost town, tumbleweeds, motherfuckers were gone.
Oh god, but yes, which I have to steal the terminology from business I saw on his Twitter feed not long ago. The keyboard bullies, because by God, that's about what Twitter is coming in. Screw the Warriors, like keyboard bullies, just shut up. And it's like, oop!
Oh, got awful quiet around these parts, didn't it?
Reminds me of the beginning of the Bible, and then God spoke things into existence as like that. It gives me like that imagery, that Bungie just spoke gospel into existence. Everyone just said, "Oh," and then that was it.
Yeah.
Give it a week.
It got mighty quiet though.
Yeah, give it a week. They'll catch their breath, and then they'll get right back at it.
Yeah, for sure. Actually,
in fact,
100% that's going to happen.
You can quote me on that one. I usually say don't quote me, but screw it, you can quote me on that one.
So you're saying by next Saturday we should see the shenanigans again?
Wait, next Saturday, the 9th.
You said a week, correct?
Okay, I'll give it the 16th. Basically, when we record the 16th, we'll that's when we'll start seeing it again. Yeah. I almost guarantee it. 16th, I'll give it.
All right, we'll see.
Like I said, I'll quote it on this one. 16th.
Quote me on this one.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident in this one.
I might not know much, but what I know is
know, right?
probably by the 16th, motherfuckers are going to be talking shit because Osiris will have come out and someone will find something to be mad about. He's playing his bets real close, kids.
I know. And legitimately, also, like, I was actually getting mad at people making a big deal about the whole EXP throttling thing until I realized where it, like, stemmed from and why people started noticing it, and the fact that people started noticing it before Bungie made the statement. So then all of a sudden it became an understandable thing because it was apparently during the Clarion call or the double XP weekend.
Okay.
And people were noticing. It's like, wait, I'm not getting bright engrams as fast as I should be here.
Yeah.
So that became understandable. It's like, all right, fair enough. Like I'll not stick my foot in my mouth on this issue.
You got me.
Yeah. So I took a step back from that one. But anyway, because good God, like, let's talk about this gospel, the State of Destiny 2, straight from the Lord's lips, which I believe is wearing the name @DMG. DMG, I think is his like Twitter tag or whatever.
Yeah.
DMG, is it?
I believe it's at a DMG.
Yeah, something like that. Of course, I think this right may have been like somebody else, like the actual blog post. It just says Destiny Dev Team. All right, I mean they're pretty much, it's like an all-encompassing thing.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not. I know you guys like love my voice and all, but I'm not reading this word for word. There's a lot of like pomp and circumstance around this that does better for you to really read yourself, like some certain things. But when it comes down to the major thing of they are promising communication, if you remember a few weeks back when we made mention of that bullet point list of a crap ton of quality of life things that we were going to be seeing, yeah, they brought that back. All right. So basically, they've given a date to a lot of this stuff. And when I say a date, I mean a lot of it gets an exact date. All right. But first,
I'm going to preface this real quick, Raven, by saying I've read very little of this. So most of this you'll be hearing my literal first reaction to.
That is very actually much excellent. Because like I said, I have it down. I've organized this. So first things first, we're going to go over the crap that either has a new year or a not quite certain, not a concrete day, pretty much, is like these things coming up. And like I said, a lot of it is things they've already talked on, like better incentives for player who complete challenging prestige activities. They've heard you, community. They're still thinking about it. And they're targeting a January area, I guess, for a better incentive program. And that's pretty much all they've said about that. They're targeting for January. They haven't really given us anything, which chances are there's nothing really concrete. So it's still on their mind. Better rewards and replay values for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors, which, as kind of like a mic drop type thing, they just said, hey, we're adding heroic strikes. Bam, there's that. And when it comes to Adventures in Lost Sectors, they are still on the radar, but they will not be delivered on December. So they don't even really have an expectation for that yet, but it's still on their radar. And this next one, I know everyone in like the community really like breathed the biggest sigh like to read this. Private matches for the Crucible.
I felt about that when I read it.
Still targeting early 2018. So no, Quest Mega Lore, it's only been like, what, 2-3 weeks since this bullet point was even originally like put out, I think?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, a lot of this information really hasn't changed. Better incentives for completing Crucible matches, and penalties for quitting competitive games. They're really going into... They kind of glanced over the incentives part, but they are definitely still working on a quitter penalty system. There we go. Your boy knows vocabulary. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, not to bring up Paladins again, but I'm just going to use this as an example. But do you think the deserter system would be something?
Oh, I think that would be freaking amazing, man.
Yeah.
You go and like bounce out of a match and all of a sudden you can't queue for like 5, 10, 15, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing.
2 hours and then it gets up, I think.
No.
I think if you're a grandmaster and you quit, it's like a 24-hour.
Oh, wow.
Because it goes up exponentially, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, when I was platinum, and I had a 2 hour, or was it? No, it was 40 minutes. I'm sorry, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Was what it was, and that's still a ridiculous penalty if you think about it. You know, you just get disconnected from a thunderstorm or a power surge or your router dropped or whatever. You know.
Yeah. So I mean. Yeah, so I mean, I like that system. I do. So I mean, I think like I do agree that would be a really cool thing to bring in that way. But then again, from the way they're talking, it might be a little more in depth than that. It might be kind of like I think it's Grand Theft Auto that does like not really quitters per se.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no, I think it's there's actually a fighting game that takes like all the rage quitters and puts them in a specific pool with one another.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're like a consecutive rage quitter, you get like a tag basically to like your account or whatever, and then you matchmake with other people that have this tag because they're like rage quitting. So like all the rage quitters get to play together, and then all the people that aren't get to have an okay experience. Like, I'm kind of like, because even GTA kind of does the same thing, that if you have like a certain, I forget which system it is, because my God, GTA Online has so many systems when it comes like to their sandbox exploration and crap. But it's like, if you like do so much of a certain thing, then like you're more apt, basically for manners and crap, you're more apt to like get put into this area with other of these people. So that would be really cool too. Let all of those guys just match together. Ooh, that would be.
So it's just
I would actually quit just to experience a little bit of what that
just
would
to see what that plays like. Yeah, just curiosity, right? I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I would quit once just to see what it was like.
I would. I agree with you there. All right. Changes to the mod economy, making things more interesting. A lot of this will be...
Are you thinking exotic mods?
I still don't know how they're going to do this. Like, I really don't know. Because, for reasons like I'll go into, like, in a little bit, but they're also... Primarily, like, the point of this is they're exploring more updates to the system in the new year. So it is going to be relatively soon-ish. Just not incredibly soon. So, yeah, nothing quite yet, but they're still working on it. And they do have some things like the Gunsmith, but that's actually coming in the December update. Ongoing improvements to exotics, including adjustments, reduced instances of duplication, and this actually just now reminds me of a thing I actually mentioned on Twitter. And there's this argument that is still going on of people saying that exotics don't feel exotic. And that can kind of be a fair statement. But I would say, like we said last week, but that show got put in the can, so I'm going to say it now.
And you heard why.
Well, and I'll say the last 2 weeks of Crucible Radio.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, just like for listeners, I mean, if you don't listen to Crucible Radio, listen to these past 2 weeks. I can't remember the episode numbers off my head, but by God, I can find them real fast. Episode 126 and 127 of Crucible Radio. If you're not a PvPer, if you've listened to Crucible Radio before and didn't like them, I don't care what it is, listen to these 2 episodes. They have John Wisniewski, which of course designs Bungie's weapons, and Claude Jerome, who is one of I think was the head of the new subclasses and such. Mm-hmm. So 2 very prominent developers in how this game plays gets interviewed, and they spill a lot of things about this game, pretty much. And one thing that hit me, it's like, and this is entirely understandable from a creator's perspective, and the fact that Wisniewski basically didn't like the fact that exotics in Destiny 1 were a handcrafted experience, because they were not like, with weapons in D1 having random rolls, exotics did not. So these were very handcrafted and unique experiences with handcrafted play styles. And it kind of hurt the fact that he put time into these weapons, mm-hmm. and people weren't able to get them. Like, a lot of people still weren't able to get certain exotics, even at the end of D1. Which kind of made a little light bulb pop in my head, as they were talking about the fact that now that there's no random rolls in D2, every weapon is a handcrafted experience. And they wanted you, it is a design choice that they wanted you to be able to get more exotics in D2. That was a design choice. Mm-hmm. So why would anything be different with the legendaries? Like, I thought to myself. It's like they didn't really say it's a design choice to pretty much have it rain legendaries, or that legendaries are pretty easy to get. But the fact that, like I said, every weapon now in D2 is actually a designed experience. Am I saying every weapon is good? Of course not. I think some of them are dumpster fires. But when it comes down to it, I understand where they're coming from. I understand the fact, hey, if I actually made a thing, like, I don't know, a spreadsheet or something, I mean, would I, like, do something crazy, like pin it to my Twitter and bring it up every once in a while and say you should click on it to look at it because it's something I put my time into?
I mean, would you name it something that involved, I don't know, a bird or something?
That'd just be silly. Come on. But no, so I mean, as a creator, I can understand, wanting to get these things out. So I'm not saying it's good that we don't have a lot of weapons. I'm not saying it's good that it's easy to get a lot of weapons. But what I am saying is I understand where they're coming from. They want their babies out there. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that. So box down. That's kind of like that. Like I said, I posted kind of a thing, I believe it was a reply to Duba, I want to say. That was pretty much a lot of that spiel, but anyhow. So yeah, they are planning to tune underperforming exotics and continue to make targeted updates and improvements. And they will be adding duplication protection in the new year. That's the exotics. At least for exotics. They're not saying it's like smart loot in general, but it seems to be, at least for exotics, which we may not need it after I go over some of these changes. And then, of course, an emote interface that allows you to equip Salty, Spicy Ramen, 6-shooter, and Flip Out all at the same time. New Year, people.
Weapon wheel.
That's all they're saying. New Year. Emote wheel.
Emote wheel.
And, hilariously, Crucible tuning like adjusted supremacy scoring and better spawning rules, which they kind of took care of, which, when I say kind of, like at least for the quick play stuff, feels so much better. And in December, they will be introducing additional updates and bug fixes intended to improve these areas of the Crucible. So, no, if you don't think it's that great, guess what? More changes are coming to how the Crucible plays. So, that's it for the vagaries. Everything else has specific dates. Well, I'm sorry, that's not it for the vagueness, because, of course, there's always going to be some level of vagueness. They got to keep the carrot on the stick, right?
Yeah.
So, December the 5th, the release of the Curse of Osiris DLC. 3 days from when we are recording this. My gird. Basically what ends up at the top of this list, armor ornaments. Yay! Armor ornaments. And these are pretty much, from the looks of it, they are objective specific to earn these armor ornaments.
So you have to do something. You just don't get them for
Exactly.
doing nothing.
You don't. You have to do a thing to unlock these ornaments. Basically, I think the best example I can come up with is like the Rise of Iron armor, or no, the Days of Iron, Rise of Iron armor that you got from the book, the Rise of Iron book.
Mm-hmm.
That armor, you had to do things to get the armor, and then you had to do other things like to randomly get the ornaments. So kind of the other way of that. And legitimately, from like the picture that they use on, because they have like these ornaments, and I don't think we're actually getting new armor.
You think we're getting ornaments to
I
ornate the armor we already have?
Exactly. It's going to look like, which I kind of like this idea, because A, it's not actually leaving anything behind, and B, it's allowing you to like mix and match looks also. Like you can actually fine tune like a look, because the Iron Banner armor, like for instance, does look pretty incredible. Like we had that taste of at some point in time. I think it was one of the first stream. They gave a little taste of it, and it does look different enough from the original. And like I said, I do like the fact that it's like, oh hey, here's this armor, and now instead of doing more armor and more crap to clutter up your inventory, here's ornaments. So you can basically just look how you want.
No, Des, do you have any pictures of anything? Do you have pictures ready or no?
No, I do not.
Okay, because you're going to where I don't know. Like this is all new to me.
Yeah, and I have to. Okay, well they have. I can actually open this in a new tab. I can.
Because I knew they were going to do ornaments. It was just they did mention it earlier that they were going to bring it on. But I didn't think
they
it
haven't
be,
showed
this early.
Yeah, they haven't showed what it looks like exactly.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. They don't have like a real preview other than the video, because there is like a little teaser video in the TWAB for this week, and that comes with like a look at certain like things. It's like a 4-minute video. It's not long at all. It's not going to give you, and it doesn't say exactly where it's coming from, but it does give you a look at, the new, which hilariously going back to these Crucible Radio interviews, Wisniewski did mention that Vice was getting what they call a capstone exotic, which, like for a Foundry, a capstone exotic is pretty much an exotic that kind of embodies perfectly that Foundry. Like Suros had the Regime.
Yeah.
They made mention. I think they mentioned Cold Heart for Omelon. I mean, why not go for Hard Light? I don't know, but they did mention before. I think just before this information was confirmed, they did mention that Curse of Osiris, Weist is getting a Capstone exotic. What's the Weist exotic?
The colony?
The colony. Yes. So that's going to be interesting to see exactly how it plays out, because they made a grenade launcher a Capstone.
Because we did talk about this last week, but that episode got lost.
All right. What's amazing is, like, for the image of this TWAB is the Red Death looking hand cannon. I'm talking like almost a freaking perfect imitation.
I saw that, and I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh, is that a hand cannon with the Red Death perks?" Because that sounds like a great idea.
Oh, right. Like, hopefully they give a little change to hand cannons, or that way they're worth a crap to use.
Well, I mean, that would make that Red Death hand cannon would be pretty awesome.
I mean, I would still run around with it for sure, and it looks amazing because it looks just like Red Death. It's got a little bayonet. It's got the same, like, area of red. Ermagerd, me once. So, yeah, we don't have any, like...
concrete.
There's no, like, teaser images and crap, sadly. Which is fair. But,
You're happy, is what you're trying to say.
I do like a lot of this, I will say. Okay, so ornaments. All right. In Season 2, the following sets have ornaments unlocked in their respective activities. So they actually tell you these people are getting ornaments. Vanguard Faction. Vanguard Faction armor. Crucible Faction armor. Trials of the Nine armor. Iron Banner armor. Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, and New Monarchy armor. And Eater of Worlds Raid Layer armor. Whew. It's like 8 activities, 8 things, other than the 3, of course, factions, the originals. But yeah, pretty much everybody except the planetary people are getting ornaments, basically.
Okay. I'm feeling a weird mix of emotions right now, because one of my favorite armors, obviously the New Monarchy clan armor, faction armor, would be awesome with an ornament. But you're missing some really good ones when you leave out the world, though. The planet
armors. That's true. I do agree. But at the same time, I did kind of foresee that if something did get left behind, those are the easy scapegoats. Like the Jin Sim armor looks like really cool. It does look really cool. It's almost like that retro futuristic look, because it reminds me of like older science fiction. Which, for those that don't know, retro futuristic, like take the original Alien movie. That's retro futuristic. Why? Because they still use like freaking green and black PC monitors and like floppy drives and crap. And if you're too young to know what a floppy is, then that's the point of the joke. But so the fact that they're leaving, I can understand that, like, because I would not be opposed myself to having something for them as well. Like that would be really cool.
Yeah, the gypsum armor in particular, that's the one I'm really angry about, because that just looks so cool across the board. It looks cool, you know. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I do agree there, but at the same time, that's like the planetary stuff is going to be like the redheaded stepchild. It's gonna be left out like quite a bit, I foresee. Let's see. Banshee has some updates on the weapon and armor mod front. Yes.
This is coming December the 5th. Yeah. Same with ornaments. This is Curse of Osiris launch. Mm-hmm. For players wanting to clear some mod inventory space, rare quality mods will dismantle into gunsmith materials and have a chance to produce legendary quality mod components. So that's... You don't have to wait to collect a stack of rares to dismantle it for basically legendary shards and legendary mod component. You have a chance, even from rare quality, of getting a legendary mod component from a mod. So there's that. For players chasing specific legendary mods, including legendary kinetic mods, Banshee will offer a selection of specific legendary mods for direct purchase, with a selection that will rotate daily and cost legendary shards and mod components. So right there, they're giving Banshee his vendor rights, basically, and allowing him to basically create an economy with mod components. I mean, it might actually give you a reason to chase after some mods here and there or whatever. So I do like this change also. The fact that we're going to be able to buy some mods is like a very nice touch. For sure.
Yeah. Legendary kinetic mods.
Yeah, they didn't... Yeah, so there's going to be... Keep your eyes on Banshee daily, I guess, because you never know when he might be selling a legendary kinetic mod, which, good God, that's a rare thing.
Yeah.
Just like run across. Here we go. All right, for players chasing a world legendary or redacted, that will make sense later. Master Rahul will sell some of his rumored hoard of legendary engrams for legendary shards. The slot machines are opening back up, guys. Mm-hmm. the D1 slot machines are going to be back. Got some extra legendary shards? Give it a chance.
Spin that wheel.
Yeah, spin the wheel. Rahul will be waiting for your business. Yes, and they did specifically say a world legendary, which I believe that's the space stuff, your EDZ and such. Mm-hmm. And again, at release of Curse of Osiris changes affecting reputation tokens. They're changing quite a few things when it comes to this token economy that they've created. Daily challenges will have reputation token awards increased across the board. That's your daily challenges, like complete 5 Crucible challenges or whatever. Or 5 of any challenge, whatever. You guys know what it is by now. Cade's treasure chests will still offer variable rewards, but now guarantee, at minimum, a payout of destination-appropriate reputation tokens. I feel that's a pretty good change. It's, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are going to complain about it, but these are, of course, apparently the people that want, like, in-game sources of loot from, like, every little thing they ever do. It's basically an Easter egg hunt. Have fun, get some stuff out of it.
Yeah. It's like the regional, it's like the region chests.
Yeah, exactly. Strikes will drop a larger number of Vanguard reputation tokens, because by God, those things didn't make it rain already.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to... As soon as Curse of Osiris drops, I'm going to be running one strike just to see that happen, because my God, that's going to be a sight. Mm-hmm. That's the secret, guys. That's how Bungie's incentivizing doing strikes, making more tokens rain. Oh God, I'm not serious. Don't do that.
Please
don't do that. Common quality destination resource tokens. This is talking about the new planetary materials for those, like, for anybody getting tripped up on that terminology. Because I got tripped up on that myself. But yeah, this is basically the new planetary materials. They will have their drop rates increased to 100%. And values per token increased as well, by 50% for common quality and 250% for rare quality tokens. So these planetary materials, which are also codenamed by Bungie tokens, will give you more, and you will apparently always get a common, at least. But I remember reading somewhere else. We'll get to it later. But yeah, and they're going to be turning in for more, which is actually very, very nice, because the common qualities don't do jack squat, and I don't think 50% extra is really going to be able to do much for it. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. 250% for rare is like that's a step in a good direction, I feel. That almost might be as much as a token, actually. like a legitimate like reputation token. But on the balance, reputation required per reward engram will be increased for destination factions by 37% and by the gunsmith by 50%. If I can even possibly math in my head, because I think it's about, 20 tokens?
Yeah, it takes 20 to rank up.
So that's going to be 25. Or 30. 30 tokens. My bad. Yeah, see? Math.
Math.
Me and math don't get along. So it's going to be like 30 tokens for Gunsmith instead of 20, which... That's not too bad, actually. It's not a huge... Like, you're definitely not going to be seeing as many. But, like, it's understandable. And then Destination Faction, well, I mean... Of course, this might be, like, this increase might actually be for legitimate tokens rather than the planetary materials like I thought it was. Or maybe it's everything. That's going to be one, play around with it, see how it feels.
I mean,
If it doesn't work out too well, a couple knobs might be pulled back.
but that doesn't seem to be too drastic, though.
No, it's not horrible. It's not a bad thing. Like you like I said, well, okay, that's the thing also. Because we say it's going to take about 30, but at the same time, each token gives you more. So it might be closer to 25 maybe, like with all the balancing that comes out. So it's legitimately not going to be a bad... Legitimately not much is going to change. Like, yeah, they're going to give you more per, but they're also increasing it a little by how much you need. So, I mean, it's going to balance out to be about the same, guys. I love this change.
Yeah.
Leviathan raid tokens will be redeemed at Benedict immediately upon obtaining a token instead of requiring a full clear before unlocking. So you don't have to even complete. Like after Curse of Osiris drops, you don't have to complete the Leviathan raid to turn in tokens. You just have to earn tokens and you
That's
can
great.
turn them in.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Because that
great.
sucked. That really sucked. I had like
It does.
8. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I do like that change a lot. And that's the specific changes listed this coming December the 5th. Is that all of them? No, because, trust me, there's going to be a lot. This is just off of this list. The following week, December 12th, this subject made me kind of look like an idiot. Or made me feel like an idiot, for sure. But on December 12th, legendary weapons will drop as or be upgraded to become masterwork versions. They're adding a tier of weapons above legendary. Or a new type of legendary. Masterworks. These masterworks, as listed, will have a few advantages over the baseline legendary weapon. They will be able to track and display the number of kills with that weapon, with the choice of between a total count or a crucible only count. They will generate orbs for you and your allies on multi-kills. And add weapon stat bonuses that are selected randomly from small pool and are re-rollable.
Say it again, Des. Hold on 1 second. Okay, you might have guessed where is new to me. If you don't know, it's right now. So, did you say that it generates the orbs for your teammates with multi-kills?
Mm-hmm.
That's across the board? That's not just in Crucible or in
That's-
PvE? That's across the... That's for the weapon.
That sounds for the weapon. We don't have 100% confirmation, but it does not specify, PvE only, basically. It does sound like it is a Crucible allowed thing as well.
So you're giving this weapon the Telesto treatment.
Effectively, yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, and you also said it gets a special perk?
It gets a stat bonus that is selected randomly from a small pool and are re-rollable. Now, I had some questions about these.
Mm-hmm.
They were put on Twitter. I started organizing this information, which, like I said, came from originally copying and pasting the entire blog post, which came with the images. And as I was looking up, like just going through the images, make sure I didn't miss anything, I noticed the tooltip for the Uriel's Gift masterwork that I wanted to know what kind of stat boost is it giving. You know,
right.
Of course I wanted to know that.
I knew it was a Uriel's Gift as the example. Something told me, oh, it just showed it as a Uriel's Gift. Why not put it as the most used legendary ever, basically?
But which again, Chris Radio interview goes into like the mentality of why, and it's legit too. And also, high cal rounds really don't do that much, guys. I mean, Uriel's Gift is good because it's an auto rifle. It's hitting a lot, so it's like knocking your aim a lot. Like that's the secret behind Uriel's. But anyway, so I was looking at this tooltip, and I noticed the number 10 originally, and I'm like, that must be a power level game, right? Like maybe Masterworks get an extra 10 power level, right? Right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Because right next to that 10 says reload speed.
So the reload speed is buffed by 10.
Reload speed stat is buffed by 10 for this masterwork weapon.
So the Uriel's Gift, okay. What's the reload speed for the Uriel's Gift? I don't know. Maybe if you had a spreadsheet readily made by yourself or something,
right.
You could look that up real quick.
Because that's just not even...
Let's
see. Uriel's has a reload... Actually, has a pretty garbage reload of 46.
So it would be 56.
Yes, it'd be 56 reload. Which, hilariously, I looked at like the stat bar of the example Uriel's, and I thought it was the range that looked silly. No. Like, as soon as I saw 10 reload speed and looked down, it's like, oh yeah, that reload speed is way better than Uriel's. So we don't get exact explanation of... I mean, maybe it's like... I mean, I wouldn't see why not, but it seems like maybe they're like choosing very specific stats that each weapon will be capable of re-rolling. Like, perhaps Uriel's or auto rifles in general won't be able to roll range. If they're smart, they'll do that because they have enough range, guys.
Yeah.
Which, again, they don't really... They also don't talk about, like, sandbox changes, so that might be a change also. So these badges, these Masterwork badges, are going to be able to give you the information of, A, it being a Masterwork. They will show you, like, what it's... because if you paid attention to the Kill Track Ghost, there's a Guardian emblem, and then there's, like, a Crucible emblem, and each one has, like, a kill count. And that's your respective, like, everything and PvP only kill counts. That mentality is also going there. So, yeah, but as soon as you hover over, like, the badge, like the Masterwork badge, it's going to tell you what it's buffing. Which, by God, like I said, I was wondering because I did not foresee that level of transparency on a Bungie weapon. And they are just telling you, like right there, it's like, hey, we're giving you an extra 10 reload speed. Yep, there it is. Here. So, no, that 10 is actually not, unless I get proven wrong, that 10 is not a power level gain. But, like I said, your Masterwork weapon will tell you what stat is being buffed. Well, now, we also don't know if there's a cost for re-rolling this.
Okay, are you assuming there will be?
Yes.
Because my gut says there will be, yeah. It's Bungie.
It's like, it might be kind of like for taking the stuff off of the Spectre armor in D1. What was it called? The Chroma. Taking Chroma off an armor costs something. And then changing, like, the Chroma on an armor costs like 100 Glimmer. Like, it may be a nominal fee. Maybe it'll cost Legendary Shards.
That was what I thought.
That would be the best thing, actually.
When I first heard that, I thought it's got to be Yeah, it's got to be leg shards.
Yeah, hopefully. Like like I said, that's probably the best bet. Like to give legendary shards a really good use. But then again, maybe it might be this new material, like to reroll, because when you okay, kidding. But yeah, Masterworks will drop from any source. Yeah, they will drop. Okay, I'm trying to word this because in a way that's like very clear and concise, but they will drop basically from any source that you get a legendary weapon. And essentially, any legendary weapon that drops has the potential of dropping as a masterwork. But your character has to be above 250 power level. If your character is above 250 power, you can start getting masterwork weapons. Unwanted masterworks can be dismantled in materials that can upgrade an existing legendary weapon into a masterwork. Now, I'm wondering, like, for rerolling, like, maybe it's like, use 3 of this material to upgrade to masterwork, and a reroll, maybe it's like, use 1 of this material. Like, maybe they're trying to, like, I can see that too, and that would also be, in my opinion, acceptable.
So you have to break down 3, let's say you get a terrible weapon in a masterwork, so you break it, and then you get the material that within 3, it takes 3 to make a weapon, a legendary, into a masterwork. Is that what you're saying?
That's my speculation. That's like a number I threw out, but I would say probably maybe 3 would be my guess.
But that's what you're saying as the system? That's how I took what you just meant. I have to break down 3 shitty legendaries to make something that I want legendary to be legendary unless it drops.
Effectively.
Okay.
All right. Basically, we don't know like an exact number, but yes, this is the system. Like
ascending a weapon, basically.
Exactly. Like you break down a masterwork, you get this material. However many materials you need, you can upgrade a legendary into a masterwork. And that's the system. That is like for sure. That's what's on paper. That's the system. Raid, but they do say that the raid and the Trials of 9 weapons have a very high chance to be masterworks. So that's actually really cool.
So you can farm masterwork weapons now.
Oh yeah. I mean, like people that like raiders and Trials players, yeah, they'll be able to have like a bit of a surplus of masterworks from the sounds of it. And they do have future plans to extend masterworks to other gear and expand your kill counts in more places. Example, the Crucible kill screen. So they're still like hammering out like the ideas of masterworks. But I like this idea. Like, this does bring back a very small bit of the random element that people want in their weapons right now.
Yeah.
This gives them something to chase.
It does indeed.
Because, can you imagine, like, the example, your gift? Imagine that, and imagine if stability is a perk that you can bump up. Can you imagine that thing firing smoother? My gird.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, I just got the chills. Like,
I know, right?
It's almost like you said Mufasa or something.
But yeah, I mean, that's going to, I mean, and it's not entirely random. Like I said, I want to know, like, I want to know if they're severely limiting, like, it's like, okay, Uriel's, it's not going to be able to, like, do range. It's not going to be able to do, like, this or that. And then, you know, like I said, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
The small pool is. Of course, who knows? Maybe they won't allow it to roll stability, which I'll still be fine with because, by God, the reload speed, I'm a fan of having more of that.
Yeah. Buffing what it already has in spades.
All right. Because a plus 10 boost is not small. By God, that was like a plus 10 or between a plus 10 and 15 were like the old good stat like boosters or modifiers in D1 were usually the ones that buffed things by 10 or 15. So I mean, okay, Hammer Forged, was a plus 10 buff to range. And it was good. So this is effectively what they're bringing back. Is they're basically giving modifiers back, like an extra thing that if you get a masterwork thing, then eventually it's going to give a bonus to a stat that is going to be Multa Bene, which, like I said, this is a step in the right direction, I feel like, for this. And like I said, that reroll ability does give like chase factor to a lot of weapons. And it actually does give you a reason, like duplicates. I mean, say, you have a Uriel's drop with a plus 10 reload speed on a Masterwork. You get another Masterwork Uriel's. Oh, wait, this one has plus 10 stability. Play with them. Try it out. Find out what you like better. But this is, like I said, this leads into the possibilities section of this. I mean, it's just, it's going to be nice. And it's going to give like that mystery of drops, that slight mystery of drops. While Bungie will still be, like if this works out well, which I don't see why not, like this allows Bungie to craft weapons how they have been for D2, while giving just that little smidge of randomness that is actually well controlled and well contained. I can see this doing very well.
Yeah.
But I also see 90% of the community leaders saying it sucks. But screw them.
Yeah. Yeah. The vocal few, I guess, would be the best way to put that.
Yeah. All right. So also on December the 12th, that was just one thing, guys. That was just one thing. And that's a week after the Curse of Osiris drops. So also, faction armor and weapons will be unlocked for purchase for legendary shards and faction tokens on most faction vendors. So basically, D1 vendors are coming back, essentially. To further go, all 5 armor slots will always be present, and weapons will rotate weekly on factions that have them. Slots will be unlocked by claiming reward engrams from the respective faction, and you will get credit for engrams you have already claimed since launch.
Oh, God.
So, this is a double-edged sword. This is a heavy, this is like a double-edged Zanmato. Which for you non-weeaboos is a horse-cutting sword, which was only officially existed on paper in Japan. Yeah, this, it's nice. Like, I like this idea because, by God, it really does take away the RNG of, like, hunting weapons down or hunting down armor. Let's say this happened like about a month ago when I was chasing Ginsem.
Yeah.
Could have bought it all. But it would take legendary shards and tokens. And you can't just buy it. If you haven't done anything for these factions, you can't get anything. You actually have to claim reward engrams. How many? We don't know. But in order to buy things from these people, you have to claim reward engram. This is basically how D1 Iron Banner worked. If you wanted to buy the armor, you had to get your faction up. So now there seems to be a purpose to get your faction up, even though there's no actual like number or anything in D2. There will be a purpose to turn in these tokens and get these factions up, because it will give you the freedom. Because still, of course, I still haven't run any like strikes or anything. Still have not seen the freaking Vanguard hand cannon, the Delos Code. I know it exists. I've even seen it in rotation to be a possible reward. I just haven't gotten one. So that chase would be non-existent. But at the same time, it is easing a lot of like artificial grind, because you're taking away a lot out of the RNG system. And potentially, as long as you have like the capability of buying everything from a from a vendor, then all you do is just you collect some tokens and you wait. Or you keep grinding, you keep turning in packages, and you keep testing your luck there, and you have the backup plan of the vendor just outright selling you the weapon. But like I said, this is a heavy double-edged sword. It's gonna go, like I've already like heard some reaction of some people like saying like a lot of these changes are taking away even more grind. And again, since these weapons are like actual crafted experiences, I can understand why. So I don't know. Because a lot of people are saying like it's way too easy to get weapons in D2. This isn't helping that. Like they are not making like these weapons are not going to. If you didn't think they're obscure, now they're going to be even less obscure. Like it's going to be easier to be able to get your hands on stuff. On one hand, I like that. Like especially, it'll make the spreadsheet a lot easier to like to handle. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Buster, what do you think about that? Like, really, as a grinder, what do you think about that?
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm down. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, all right, cool. I could get an origin story that's masterwork, so you can make it more stable or more range. Oh my god, thank you so much for this. And then I was like, and then when you drop the, your 3 pieces, you break them down, you can make something else. I'm like, oh, so I could make my last hope a masterwork with a random roll. Oh, good lord! What if it became more stable? And then and then I just kind of call me a shill if you want to. I'm happy.
I know, like the December 12th update is really apparently where Buster's heart's at right now.
and no longer will I have to go. Well, maybe I might get the arms this time, and what happens? No arms. And I still don't have any arms. I can just buy the new Monarchy arms or the rag. Because I don't have the rag, actually, is what I don't have. I have tons of arms. I can buy that now? Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
All 5, like, armor is going to be, like, not even that hard to chase. Because all 5 armor slots will always be present on vendors. So, yeah, armor, that chase is in the past. And there's still December 12th stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah, keep
That's
going.
the end of it.
Please, let me know. My man!
Squidface has some new offerings for players collecting exotics. Every week, you'll be able to acquire one of the new Fated engrams using legendary shards that will decrypt as exotics that are not already in your collection.
Thank you, Jesus. I'm going to say it right now. Thank you, RN Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And again, they are giving a simpler 3 of coins that boosts exotic drop rates from any source for 4 hours. No obscure stacking mechanics or need to reapply before every boss. These cost legendary shards, and you can have as many as you like.
So you're making public events fun? Is that what you're doing, Bungie? You're just going to make public events farmable? Because they've been pretty farmable anyway, to be honest. Because you can play for 4 hours and get, what?
These 3 of coins, oh my Jesus.
And I love 3 of coins, the mechanic, anyway.
I know, right?
With the original mechanic. You're just going to make it better for me?
I know. This is like the most ideal 3 of coins ever. Like for 4 hours, you just get boosted exotics, and it straight up tells you, oh, hey, 4 hours. Here you go. It's like, oh my god. Like, this is nice. I mean, but again, this is like, a lot of people are going to complain. The only complaints I have heard have been about
this?
Some. Like, nothing like super down. I mean, the general attitude is very positive. But like I said, the only like downer thing that people have really even brought up is like exotics and like legendary. Like these 2 changes, essentially. The fact that a lot of the complaint, like originally, is the fact that there is no grind in D2. And this is alleviating that grind even more. So, I mean, yeah, there are some people not exactly happy that they're taking the grind out even more, but at the same time, at least for like the 3 of coins, the faded engrams, you know, what vendors are selling, you don't have to buy them. I mean, there was an entire sect of people in Destiny 1 that didn't want to buy exotics from Xur. They wanted to, quote unquote, have gotten their exotics from the wild. Like it actually matters. Screw you guys.
Hey, Ash Ketchum, why don't you calm the fuck down? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Who does... People do that?
Oh, yeah. No, that was a huge thing in D1.
Oh, this is going to be my rant episode. I just have a feeling. Holy shit. Okay. An hour and 5 minutes in, I'm dropping the baking sound, the baking drop, because this has to happen. Thunder and a tsunami are coming.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something that pisses me off.
This is not Doctor Who, you stupid motherfuckers.
Stop using the crutch.
Stop being a pickled dick.
Shut up, fool. I don't hear that shit.
Quit your bitching.
Tell him again, Raven.
Quit your bitching.
I'm not bitching. I'm baking.
Because now, I want to know who the fuck decided it would be a good idea to say, you know what, I'm just going to get all my... Fuck Xur. You're going to drop 3 of coins? I still bet you didn't have more 3 of coins than me. I bet you didn't have as many strange coins either. If you were like that, I guarantee you still didn't have as many strange coins as me. And how often do you play? I'm about to cough. Excuse me, I didn't mean that one either. So you're gonna make the game real grind heavy. If like that's what I hear when you say that. Like who hurt you? Who hurt you as who? Did Xur kick you or something as a kid? When you first became a guardian, you were like, "Hey Xur, I know what it is. You're mad at Xur because you didn't have enough 3 of coins, or strange coins, to buy the fucking Gallowhorn when he sold it the first week he came, right? And you were real mad because he only sold it the week before it got nerfed to the dirt. So you're mad. I get it. Okay, all right. Nope, that's fine. I'm gonna be buying a shit ton of these motherfucking faded engrams. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I have a handful of exotics that have eluded me.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I personally... I mean, you want to say something about me not catching... I choose Yo, Skull of Dire Ahamkara. No, screw you. I'm going to get this stuff. Because you know what? I made a realization. Because I logged into Destiny once this week.
You beat me.
I know, right? I did my stuff on my hunter. But I made a realization. I did not have spicy ramen emote.
You didn't have spicy ramen?
I have the other 3 exotic emotes. I did not have ramen. I had to fix that. So I actually started dismantling every, like, sparrow, every, like, non-exotic ship almost that I had. Because, by God, here's my outlook. If I'm that close, and a vendor happens to be selling a thing I want,
it's mine.
or a thing I just want to collect,
it's mine. You can't.
For the sake of completing a collection, it's mine. And if you wanna, and if you wanna possibly say that my collection, that my investment is any less because of a way I decided to get it, you can screw yourself with a tire iron. Because screw you.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. I will probably be keeping at least a couple of these 3 of coins on me.
At all times.
Because why not?
Will you stack with fire team medallions?
Probably not. Because that's a different thing, I think. I don't think that might.
I think it does help with exotic.
I mean, screw it.
Right?
Try it. Why not? can't hurt because freaking fire team medallions aren't that free. It's like what 50 freaking bright dust or 500 bright dust or something like that.
50?
That's not much. Yeah, it's not much to buy a fire team medallion, man. And it's like I think it's always on sale.
Yeah.
On Eververse. So I mean, yeah, it's not much. But here's another thing. Here's another 3 of coins are coming back, and amazing 3 of coins are coming back. Here's another thing coming December the 12th. Commander Zavala and Lord Shaxx will sell gift consumables for legendary shards. That can be used during a strike or crucible match that will serve the following functions. 1. Grant bonus rewards to everyone in that activity upon completion, friend or foe alike.
What? Wait. So they're going to have a consumable that affects everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a fire team of 4 or 3 and you're running a PvP match and you pop this thing, everybody you play with on your team, blueberries included.
Blueberries and people on the other team are going to get the possibility of bonus rewards. Well, actually, it will grant a bonus reward.
That's fucking amazing.
The reward will, of course, be random.
Of course.
Because the award will be anything from faction tokens to a round of exotics for everyone in the match.
Wait, everyone?
Everyone. Like, I don't know if that's like a specific thing, like just all of a sudden everyone, or if it's just the fact that, you know, just because of pure chance that theoretically, in like a 1 in a million possibility, everyone can literally get an exotic from this one thing. But yeah, this sounds holy balls. Like, you want to be the favorite person in a match? Pop one of these.
The genie didn't grant
Holy
my
crap.
other 2 wishes either, Des.
Like, holy balls. Like, you want something to spend legendary shards on? Here you go.
So
Like I say, you want to be the guy everyone doesn't send hate mail to? Like, the worst you're getting is, oh, gee, thanks for the faction tokens. It's like the worst you're getting for this.
Listen, if you do that, you're a gift. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
I know, right?
That's how I look at it. If somebody's nice enough to pop a consumable, and here you go, Buster, have, instead of, is it 5 tokens for a strike?
Oh, yeah.
Here's
Like,
here's 10 or 15. Enjoy that. Oh.
Like, if the game indicates where you got this from, I'm sending people messages and saying thank you.
For sure. Hell yeah. Expect a
Like, thank
shout
you.
out, matter of fact. I'm going to say it
For
right
sure.
now.
Because, I mean, this is very cool. This is very, the fact that, like I said, Shaxx will be selling consumable that will give all 8 people in the entire match an additional reward is like super, super cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I can see a lot of people not using this, but I'll keep a handful of these on. I'll be that guy for sure. I will be that guy. Like I said, I don't play Crucible super often. Like, maybe something in this sandbox will change that. But yeah, I'll be that guy. I'll keep a few on hand. Because holy balls, that's nice. All right, so also the exploit safeguards on chest and resource nodes will be greatly relaxed, and players should encounter them less frequently. Now, what this is,
Oh, I know what this is.
yeah, I'm aware because I'm usually caught like off guard by it, because it can be like really easy to see like chests and nodes like in an area, and it's those point in time that, you know, you go and pick up a chest. It's like, oh, here's some tokens. Oh, cool. Oh, here's a resource node. Oh, here's a common thing. Oh, there's another node. Wait, I didn't get anything out of that. Well, crap. That's the exploit safeguard. Now, what it does, like I said, it pretty much keeps people from super farming and like exploiting like one node. Is what it's meant for. They
what we call now the weep.
yeah, which completely didn't work on that, but yeah, oh well. And apparently, even if you do trip the safeguards on these chests, drop rates for tokens will only be reduced to 30% instead of 0%, and Glimmer will be unaffected. So you might still not get something, but it will never drop to an absolute chance of you not getting anything. You'll always have the chance to get a resource node, like out of a material out of the resource node, and you're always going to be getting your Glimmer now, which would be nice because what little mod economy we do have is like better with Glimmer.
Oh yeah,
and they do mention that they want to associate a visual indicator with this in a future update. And I'm not sure if they're talking about the exploit safeguard, like to make it like super obvious that you're tripping like the exploit safeguard. But they do mention that they weren't able to pull off a visual indicator in this update. But it is something that's like still on the table. So, which that would be super nice. Like you get something on your thing and it's like, oh, you're not getting anything this time, or oh, this was like a lesser chance. So like chill out, chill on the chests and the materials for a little bit. That would be cool.
Well, even like if it's just your like a debuff notification, you know what I mean? Like you're torn, like it says on the side, or the stacks or whatever, what have you, as an example.
All right,
I'm okay with all this.
This is the icing on the cake.
Dude. So this is slowly becoming the best update ever. That April update really wasn't shit back in the day. Remember when everybody was all excited about that one?
These 2 weeks are going to be pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the last thing on the December 12th docket, which is a thing I have heard some minor like nitpicks about, and I do have some minor nitpicks about myself as well sometimes. But vendors, starting December the 12th, vendors will now beckon you to hand in your reputation tokens only when you're carrying enough to earn a reward engram.
Okay.
So no more, because right now as it stands, if you have any amount of tokens that you can turn into a vendor, there's that pulse around them, like that highlight.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what it meant. Yeah.
So that will only happen because I remember a lot of people making mentions like, oh yeah, I thought that was a thing anyway. No, definitely not. It is going to be December the 12th. So, which, like I said, depending on my mood when I'm playing, like that depends on like if there's anything else like bugging me in the day. Essentially, it's like, oh, I don't want to see that right now. I don't want to deal with that. Go away. Like, but
really, I have one token.
I know,
Are you bugging about
like,
that?
Like, I don't want to turn it in yet because legitimately, I really don't want to turn in any tokens or anything until December the 12th. Because I want to save everything for a chance to set Masterworks.
Mm-hmm.
I do suggest everyone do the same. Start saving. Like, if you already have like a backlog of tokens, kind of like me, which I do have certain backlogs of tokens, cool. But I'm saving everything. I'm not turning in gunsmith weapon materials. I'm not turning in Crucible, Vanguard, planetary tokens. Doesn't matter. I'm hanging on to them. I'm Scrooge McDucking them things until the 12th. And then I will let loose my horde upon the world and see exactly how many Masterworks I can get. If any. Watch me get like none. Ugh. I would be...
You'd be mad.
Not really, because, I mean, I'm basically like D1ing that experience, like hoarding all these materials and crap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and that's the gospel as sent down by Bungie. That's a lot. And a lot of people, like a shout out to Handsome Dragon that made mention, it's like, a lot of people did not think like so much of this old bullet point list was going to be coming with Curse of Osiris. I will not be ashamed to admit, I didn't think so myself. I knew we were getting them because I'm an advocate that, well, some people may say I am a Bungie shill, but I knew we were getting them because they did, make it a point to point out these things. So I knew we were getting them. I knew they were working on them. I really didn't expect them like the week of and the week after. Like this much crap. I did not. A new weapon rarity? I was hoping, like for a very long, but for years, for something above exotics that would be like completely and totally overpowered. But who doesn't want that? But yeah, like a new rarity that like really, that may actually constitute the in-game grind. Weaponry rolling is back to some degree.
It's
in a
back to
very controlled method.
Oh yeah, in a very controlled method. Like they
this may be.
They didn't get the MAC Asylum this time.
Yeah,
which is good.
This may be the best like weaponry rolling system I've seen. Like really. Actually, this is very close to the weapon re-rolling system in Division, which you can choose what you like re-roll, but it like comes out like a random like thing. But this, and sadly, since they're doing this on the Masterwork system, it makes me wonder, especially now, like to bring everyone's memory back just a little bit, how are they going to make the mod economy more interesting? Like, one of the things that we thought they would do to make that interesting, they're adding to master weapons. By being capable of changing stats. So what are they going to do to the mod economy? What mods are they going to be adding? Make things interesting.
I mean...
like, holy balls.
Wouldn't you think they're going to have... like, My gut was to say, like, the exotic mod idea, or maybe they could add... Damn, I don't even know what they could do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bringing in an extra rarity of mod, like, as long as it... that would be hard to balance, because as long as it did something more than a legendary, other than, like, oh, you get even more power. Like, if there's a reason to do it, that would be cool. And that would need, like a lot of forethought and a lot of stuff. Like, holy crap. But, yeah, this is a lot of crap that they're just tossing in our laps. A lot of crap I didn't see coming.
A ton.
They're actually working. The fact that they are it is, again, this is like Bungie word. This is Bungie law. They are working on ranked PvP. I didn't see that coming. I thought ranked PvP, I thought that was going to be like the next private matches. Like maybe 2 years down the road, like it would surprise us in his streams, like, oh yeah, ranked PvP. It's like, that's what I was kind of expecting. But we're actually getting words like, hey, ranked PvP, you really, really want it? It's now at the top of our list. So they can't give you a thing because they did mention just before the release of the game, that they were going to try and work on alternatives to a ranked PvP system. Well, guess what? They said, screw it. Ranked PvP on our list. Here you go. So that's multi-bene. That is multi-bene. May my God. A lot of this is, there are still a lot of things that are like a little murky, a little in the dark, like the actual incentives for doing strikes and such, incentives for replaying adventures and lost sectors and all this, that, and the other, which, also one thing legitimately, like 3 of coins and Vanguard boosters might be part of those incentives. Crap. Legitimately, 3 of coins actually makes that, we lost that episode, but it makes the public event in Mercury
oh my God.
a little more appealing, because those public event chests have the possibility of dropping exotics. So you have a 3 a chest, and all of a sudden this one public event is dropping 2 public event chests. So that's like even more chances at exotics. So holy balls, that's like I said, there's a lot of things. Like I said, it completely, like, if D1 didn't have a grind already,
does now.
it is not for exotics and, like I said, baseline legendaries. No, like, Masterworks might be the grind, but otherwise, yeah, the grind is even less because it's going to be crazy easy to get exotics in your hand. It's going to be crazy easy to get legendaries in your hand. Like, it is going to be pretty crazy easy, but I'm okay with that. I'm pretty okay with that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is a lot of changes. Like, legitimately, one thing keeping me away from D2 right now is the fact that it feels a little weird to me. It's not a bad thing, because even D1 Crucible felt weird to me, and it took me like a year and a half to really get into that Crucible. But depending upon what like sandbox changes are made, I mean, that could change, and that could be my grind with completely totally no grind, because if anybody's going to be diving into this, like I said, for at least for the chance for Masterworks and like really get as much information I can out of that, that's going to be your boy, because I just really like the idea of Masterwork weapons. I really like that idea.
Of everything I've heard, that's the thing I'm most stoked about.
I know, because like I said, it actually alone gives you an immediate like thing to latch onto in your head. It's like, okay, I need to grind for that. Mm-hmm. Because no vendor is going to sell that. That's going to be a chance at a drop. Like, if you get a legendary, it might be a Masterwork, basically. And that's like, so I mean, there's your grind. And the fact that, oh hey, rerollable stat for blank economy? Well, unless like I said, unless they're using the economy they're introducing to upgrade things, I mean, of course, yeah, if re-rolling a master just takes Glimmer or Legendary Shards, then it's going to be able to be instant, like, oh, just get the exact thing I want. But I'm really hoping they use, like, that material in that economy to be able to re-roll it, because that way, again, there's your grind. It's like, oh, now I have this Masterwork. Oh, but I want to see, like, what stat I can get other than this. Here's that grind to get more. So, I mean, this can be the grind.
Yeah, the Masterwork weapon. You'd have to break down the Masterwork weapons to get the ability to re-roll.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus, you can use that. You can use that material to make a weapon a Masterwork weapon.
Indeed, like I said, it's not confirmed like what re-rolling costs, but of everything, I do hope it's this new Masterwork material. That's what I hope. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people may not be happy with that, but that will ensure that this stays contained and fair to everyone. Basically. Because even people that play less than me, which, trust me, I don't play this game. It's not like I don't play this game. It's just, I don't play this game like as much as people paid to play this game. And there are a lot of people that play it less than me. And if they just have, like I said, Glimmer or Legendary Shards or Glimmer and tokens or whatever, if that's what's attached to re-rolling these weapons, then I have an advantage over people that play less than me. Just inherently. But if you just start this system by having it cost the material, this new material, then everything's fair. And I love that idea. I really, really hope that's the way Bungie takes it. Like, we'll find out the 12th. Like, we're going to have a lot of things to get used to the 5th. Because new crap is going to happen. New crap is dropping the 5th. The new campaign is dropping the 5th. Because Curse of Osiris is dropping. Mercury is dropping on the 5th. It's happening. The 5th. After, like, all the maintenance happens.
Yeah. You know what? That's gonna be everybody complains.
Oh yeah, legit. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna get a spike of complaints because of that, but at the same time, everyone on Twitter has already been warned. Because, and for those that haven't seen it, at DMG or A_DMG has already mentioned that you're going to be able to preload the Curse of Osiris DLC during the Destiny maintenance window on the 5th. So 8 a.m. Pacific, you're going to be able to start preloading your DLC, or basically downloading your DLC. That way, because I think he made mention in that tweet that at 10 a.m. Pacific, so that's like a 2-hour window, that you're going to be able to play, hopefully. Like as long as nothing happens in that maintenance window, essentially, you start downloading at 8 a.m. Pacific. That's what? 11 your time, Buster?
Yeah, 8. Yeah,
8
11,
a.m. Pacific,
11
like
a.m.
11
Eastern.
your time? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, at 11 a.m. your time, you're going to be able to start downloading. And then whenever, like, from 2 hours to whenever you can play that day, or whatever, that's when you're going to start be able to play in Curse of Osiris.
Well, okay, I'm just gonna go in. I mean, you know what went on, but my fuel pump fell off my car, so I won't be having Osiris today. The day it comes out, I had to drop a large majority of the nest egg
Yeah, that's understandable. Because holy crap.
because it fell off on the freeway. Fun fact. So
Yeah, that's not ideal. We'll leave it at that.
that's a nice way to put it. I say it fucking sucks.
Yeah. So yeah. So the 5th, people, 5th, and then a week after the 5th, probably another maintenance window. Another patch is coming. Masterworks and
No, even if you don't
token
get,
changes.
even if you don't have Osiris, that happens. Correct? Or is that only with Osiris?
That might be an Osiris only thing because I'm not 100% certain. Like the capability of having Masterworks may not be like exclusively attached to Osiris. But I mean, because even if you don't have the Osiris DLC, like maybe you can get a a real gift Masterwork, but you wouldn't be able to get like Curse of Osiris weapon Masterwork because you wouldn't be able to have access to that weapon.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's going to work like that, but I cannot be certain. And again, I'm kind of hoping it would work that way. So yeah. So we do have a statement or a question from Lazarus the Lich, which episode that was lost. We gave a huge shout out because of very kind words from Laz, which we still love you all. And he asked for questions, and he gave us, oh, hey, speculate on Masterwork weapons. Well, guess what? There's all my information on Masterwork weapons. I hope you're happy. If you're not, I can't do anything for you. But then he gave us like an actual question. Stinger at that.
Okay.
Assuming you've listened to the most recent Bungie podcast, Luke Smith described the community as being in 3 buckets. Tourists, regulars, he goes to mention he called them something else, but he went with regulars, and hobbyists.
Okay.
Laz says, I feel like most of these changes affect the hobbyists, aka the Destiny is part of my daily life community, more than those that can only spend several to maybe 10 hours a week in game. Do y'all see it that way? And even if you don't, does this just feed into the idea that angry communities can yell and scream incessantly because they know developers will eventually cave to their wants and demands? Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I feel that most of these changes affect the hobbyist? Well, actually, I've pretty much stated several times. This grind, like, hopefully the Masterwork will be a pretty good grind, but this grind is going to be gone. And yeah, it's it is. I do feel it's going to affect the hobbyists. You know, the Destiny daily grinders are going to be affected. Whether they enjoy it or not is going to be one thing. Like I said, I like these changes. I like a lot of like the sounds of it. But yeah, but that's because like I wouldn't say. Of course, I'm not a tourist in Destiny. I mean, I don't just come and go, and you know, I don't feel I'm a hobbyist, at least here. I mean, I do say that, but I do have a spreadsheet in this game, so I may have to force myself into the hobbyist role.
I mean, you also have a podcast too, Des.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, I may actually have to put myself into the hobbyist, even though I may feel a little more as a regular. But
no, I'd say you're a hobbyist because
yeah, no, right.
I'd have to say I am as well. So it doesn't really, you know.
Because even if I'm not playing, I'm consuming knowledge about.
I'm
this
thinking
game.
about it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not playing, I'm thinking about playing.
Exactly. So I mean, it's always like Destiny 2. Like no matter what I play, D2 is always a choice of like the matter. Like even it's like I don't really feel like playing D2 right now. How about I claim dot hack or I could just say screw it and load up D2. I mean, like this is my thought process. I mean, it is on my mind. Like I said, I'm definitely going to like re-dive in once these changes hit, especially like once we got like the sandbox changes and such. But because I mean, come on, John Wisniewski was going to be the guest of the Bungie like stream, so they were definitely probably going to be at least offhand. Like it may not have had like a segment or something, but things about sandbox changes were going to slip because that's just kind of how Wisniewski is. Because as tight-lipped as Deej is.
Nusk is not.
Nusk tends to let things slide here, and he finds out exactly what he can say to tease and bait people. I mean, that's just how he is. I can say that with some confidence because he's been in 3 or 4 Crucible radio interviews, something like that. I think 3. I think this might be his 3rd.
I mean, they have his phone number.
No, right?
I'd say they're kind of close.
I know, right? So I mean, and I've listened to like all their interviews, but at least as far as I know. But it's just it's really great to like hear him talk about the game though. But old buddy, this is just feeding the idea that angry communities can yell and scream incessantly because they know developers will eventually cave.
But to that I say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You know what I mean? Like, we live in an age now that we can tell people, we can give feedback. True,
yeah.
At the moment in time, it's not a very good, it's not well worded sometimes. Sometimes there's no punctuation. Sometimes it's all caps. Sometimes it's tagged by a mean hashtag. But we as a people now can, as a gaming community, can tell the developer, hey man, this is kind of fucked up. What's legit? You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? Could they? I mean, Bungie could make it a little bit easier on themselves by thinking ahead. Sure. But they want the game to come out, so I understand some of the changes to come. Within the December update or the Osiris. I understand that. But they wanted to give you the Destiny 2 experience that they wanted to give you. Before you go, you know what? I want Destiny 1 back.
And actually, legitimately, if this was the experience, like the Destiny 2 experience that they wanted to give you, legitimately, they'd be done. It's like, communities can whine all they want, but if a game is basically done, it's done. I mean, because essentially, I mean, even as it is, like they're working on the next thing. Regardless of they actually like have foresight or have the size of a studio to be able to go ahead and work on the next sequel and like work on that foundation to like lessen like tragedy or whatever. or this just like they're working on like the next thing or whatever. The main bulk of people that worked on D2 is working on the next thing. But, of course, like I said, Bungie is always... I wish I could find this thing that Deej said. But, of course, Twitter on the PC is not great. But I can go here. There we go. And I can look at this. Because Deej tweeted out. He said, when I first started playing Bungie games, a strong leader of the community back in the day told me, as long as your criticisms are honest, they are good for the community. And it's because I still believe that. Be hard on us if you want to, but please, be excellent to each other. Very nice shout out to Bill and Ted there, Deej. But, even with this, does this give people permission to basically whine, moan, threaten developers? No. Stop being a child. It's like, really, honestly, if you legitimately think moaning and groaning over a game, an entertainment item, is really causing you like this much tragedy, basically, and this much headache for you, I have 4 very simple words for you. And that is, grow the fuck up. Because
I just want
you're
I just want the listeners to know what he just said. How powerful a statement he just said. Because I don't know if you know this. This might have been the first time I've ever heard, one of the few times I've ever heard Des cuss. And boy, did he bring the best way to do it.
I mean, legitimately.
The mic might have caught an audible, like, I might have had an audible gasp when you said, just grow the fuck up. And I was like, oh, I cuss all the time, but when you say it's more powerful.
Now, but yeah, I mean, it's sad to watch a grown individual act like a temper tantrum throwing 5-year-old in the middle of Walmart. There's a reason people give them like wide berths, and I'm amazed legitimately that these type of community leaders are still around. I read an article that somebody like retweeted. It like went on about like the music of the Spheres, the original Destiny music. Mm-hmm. I lost respect for that article because of the person that the YouTube channel. Of course, we don't like throw out names, but this individual, he has to be an individual that literally rags on a game just to get attention. Because he played Destiny a lot. He has a lot of Destiny videos, but all he does in his Destiny videos since the beginning is rag on Destiny and say how it's horrible, it's broken, it's this, that, and the other. So I mean, he's consistent at least. Mm-hmm. But it never really claims any love for the game. He's quote unquote honest about the game. So I mean, that's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, we've said it before with Handsome Dragon. I mean, you don't badmouth something you love and claim to love it. It's ridiculous. But it just reminds me again of a 5-year-old that has a crush on a girl. What do you do when you're 5 and you're a boy that likes a girl? Chances are you punch her in the arm and run away.
Yeah.
Or something. You cause some kind of physical harm to her and like run away. Or you tease her. Or you cause some kind of distress to her. This is what a lot of community leaders in the Destiny community remind me of. They remind me of little children running around, bad-mouthing their crush.
At this moment in time, you can hear the Cheeto fingers and the Cheeto dust. It is a swirling, folks. People are mad.
Let them. Because you know what? If you have nothing better to do than to write some paragraph on how wrong I am, then I'm not the one that needs to reevaluate my life. I have much, much, much bigger things to worry about than what some random child on the internet wishes to write to me. And if you wish to have a difference of opinion, then fine. We can discuss how we have differences of opinions. We can be civil. Because whenever I bring, like I said, I have issues with Destiny 2. Have I ever moaned and it's like, oh my god, this game is horrible? No. Because we at RNG are better class of individual. I'll say it. I'll say it. We are a better class of individual. Are we still human? Of course. We will make mistakes. We will look like idiots. We will do things out of character on occasion because we are human. We might get cranky because we're human. But no matter what, we still know how to keep things in a very positive light. Well, I do. I'll drag Bust on better as best as I can.
Oh yeah, because I will
bathe in positivity.
I will let the hate flow through me if need be. I'll be honest with you.
But yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to be civil about anything.
For sure.
There's no reason to get your panties in a bunch. And as we've said it before, if you really don't like it, go away. The game will be just fine without you. The community will be better without you. Stop with this nonsense of toxicity that is really... It's ridiculous. It is getting sad. And I'm starting to legitimately not watch or listen to a lot of people's Destiny content. I'm just not willing to. Because it is for the most part ridiculous. I mean, I see a YouTube video. It's like, oh my god, Destiny's horrible reaction to the experience thing. I don't care. My thoughts on how the blog post was, I don't care. Because all it is, 9 times out of 10, is negativity. I mean, it's getting done. And legitimately, like I said, if you can't... I was raised on some words, or at least attempted to raise on some words. If you can't find anything nice to say about something, don't say anything at all.
Also, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
I mean, something. God, I mean, this is ridiculous. Like I said, listening to elementary school playground tantrums all across Twitter. Take the words from Bill and Ted. Be excellent to one another. Treat people like people. And you will be amazed at how things can progress. So yeah. That's one thing you could take away from this. Hopefully it's that. And still, screw you, Cheetos fingers. Keyboard bully pieces of crap. Say I can't talk. I'm more eloquent than you can ever imagine. Why? Because I still spell words. Yeah, I see you on Twitter.
Punctuation.
You are as
They gave you 260 characters. You can use proper punctuation. And for the love of God, okay, here's something that gets me. I hate, with the deepest pits of my soul, if you put for R, like, are you coming over? The letter R.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know.
Every time I see it, a little bit of me goes, oh, what the fuck, man? Like,
I didn't do it back in the day when Leet Speak was a thing.
no.
I try not to do it now. Like, if I had a post, like, Twitter may have been the place I did it because of a small, character limit. And maybe I wanted to really say, like, this is what I really want to say. Okay, how can I make it fit?
Yeah, I understand.
But if you go back and look at my Twitter, chances are you're not going to find a lot of that because I'm sorry, we are given, as human beings that exist, we have actually developed an evolutionary weakness. Because apparently, apes, even though they cannot communicate, they have no vocabulary. They can't, like, enunciate as we can. Because apparently there's an evolutionary thing but they are not capable of choking. It's like they can't speak, but they can't choke. And we can speak, but we can choke. But we are given such a gift of vocabulary. People use it.
Are you telling me I can't choke out an ape?
No, I mean, they can't, like, mistakenly, like, swallow something
Oh,
and
okay.
choke, apparently.
Okay. All right.
Like, I don't know how much I buy into that, to be honest, but I heard.
'Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. If you gave me a good enough grip on a chimp, I could choke a chimp to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. But they can't, like, choke on food, essentially. They can't, like, eat a banana too fast or something.
Well, I feel like this needs to be said. The RNG cast does not condone or find the need for animal cruelty, even if you're a chimp. But once again, why would you hurt a chimp?
No, we've never choked a chimp, all right? Legit.
No, I've never, no.
Okay,
I got quiet for a second. I realized this is probably not the best thing to be doing right now. No, I have never choked a chimp unconscious.
Okay, there we go.
I do appreciate you stopping for a split second going, wait, hold on.
It's like, this is where you agree, Buster. This is where you agree.
Psst, hey, buddy, have you ever choked a chimp unconscious? You probably should have told me before I went into this rant.
Oh my god! Oh, that was great.
I just waited for that. I wanted to hear the panic.
Because I mean, trust me, if there's anybody in this world with I choked a chimp story,
Guilty.
I would not doubt it would be Buster. I would not doubt it.
Guilty.
So there you go, Lazarus. That's my opinion on these vocal minorities, like, in our community, and it is getting ridiculous. And I didn't like it halfway through D2. That is one reason I was okay with talking about Destiny on the podcast, because I wanted to kind of be one of those guys that's like, you know what, screw you, community leaders. This game isn't that bad. Your opinions.
Psst, why'd you think we took the name The Revolution?
So, I mean, yeah, it comes down to the fact. It's like, I've said before, I want people to have opinions. Because opinions are powerful, and opinions can lead to wonderful, roads to dialogue.
But be civil.
But, hey, be civil, and don't be dumb. Like, have a smart opinion. Don't just be a child about it. But yeah, so there's my stand. My stand on the state of D2. Kick out some of these children and let the grown folks talk. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been riffing on this forever now. How I feel about,
Yeah.
That's why I call them Cheeto fingers, because I can't respect you if you have orange fingers. I can't.
Yeah.
That's why I call them Cheeto fingers. If I try to come on and have a conversation, or if you have a negative comment, please let us know personally. Tweet at us and let us know. I love to have people say, like, "Hey man, what's up?" Something seems kind of weird. I've had people send us messages. Hey, are you guys okay? What's going on? Something.
Is this becoming a Paladins podcast? Because y'all are talking about Paladins a lot. Like, don't worry about that. We're just playing the field. I mean, but we cut it back. No problem. That's one reason we haven't been talking Paladins, because it's made a couple people a little uncomfortable.
That's why
So,
that's why we give the
pulled it
Paladin's
back.
warning whenever we do. We give the Paladin's warning.
So so yeah, we try and roll with the revenue, and we do try and grow with you, grow because of you, essentially. So yeah, give us that feedback.
I mean, I think we have, with Laz. Laz is very opinionated.
Oh.
He'll let you know, like,
Oh yeah, for
what
sure.
he thinks. I mean, Average Joe. Also, by the way, he writes fantastic articles on Destiny Tracker. I almost said it.
I heard that, but I actually haven't read it yet. But not because it's just. I'm sorry, Average. I'm sorry, I haven't read it yet, but I do plan on getting around to it. But then again, someone made a mention of an analogy I made about Bungie holding a pair of twos in a poker game. And I didn't remember the context of which I'd made that analogy. And I remember making an analogy to a poker game, and I just didn't remember exactly what I said. And I didn't remember, like, the context. And I didn't remember, like, the conversation. So I didn't remember a lot. I haven't looked into it. So I still don't know how to, like, really reply to that. But apparently that was the thing I said. But, like, yeah, if you tweet at me with a thing like that, you're going to get, like, some confused gibberish, maybe? Or a thing that's pretty much saying, I don't know how to respond to that. Because I don't know how to respond to that. But I'm going to be as honest as possible. Like, to anything that's directed my way. But, of course, that doesn't mean I won't be respectful. Because, again, that's... Okay, being respectful and such, again, behind the scenes, that's, like, one of the guiding principles of the RNG. As we've mentioned, we'll mention, like, the Destiny community leaders, the vocal minority. We'll say that a lot because we don't want to call names. We don't want to... We're giving our opinions without, like, throwing shade or slinging mud or whatever the terminology you hip kids use these days. We don't want anything. We're just putting our opinions out there on, like, the vocal minority. These loudmouth individuals. And to be honest, I said, I don't keep up with them anymore, so I can only get a general feel of what people, like, retweet on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much always, like, the same, like, people, like, that pop up in my feed for some reason or another. So I can get a feel for how things are going. But like I said, I don't watch these people anymore at all. I don't, because I understand things. Okay, if you don't like a game, don't buy it. If you don't like a content creator on YouTube, don't watch their videos. Because that's how they make their money. They have retention time, which retention time leads to times that you're looking at. The times that you're looking at ads puts pennies in their pockets. And then, but of course it all adds up because, you get like a few million people looking at a video. A million pennies is a lot. Let's just say that. But anyhow, digressing from that. So I don't watch these people. I don't agree with their opinions. I still don't agree with their opinions. Mm. So I don't give them that power. Does it really matter? Probably not. But you know what? I don't have to deal with their negativity because I'm not listening to it. And I feel personally satisfied because, again, I'm not adding to their wealth in any way or their success in any way. So I feel good in my little corner of the world. They'd probably still feel miserable in their corner of the world. I'm fine. So yeah. Of course, that also means, like, there's still, like, a lot of people, like, I'm still, for some reason, not following in the Destiny community. Like True Vanguard. I always end up getting surprised by some of his opinions because it's like, he's, like, super on it, basically. True Vanguard, he doesn't, like, chill out. He just says his opinions in a very neutral manner. It's amazing, really. but yeah. But for some reason, I keep meaning to like track him down, give him a follow. Probably still not watch his Destiny videos, but his other stuff is probably great if he does it. If not, oh well. But
I mean, if we're doing a brief little shout out, I have to say BBK Dragoon, one of my favorite content. Like super. I mean, obviously Blessius and
oh yeah,
the usual.
Little known fact though, BBK has, I think he's still the longest. If it's still going, I think he's still the longest running Destiny podcast, or at least was.
It wasn't Guardian. I thought Guardian Radio was.
It's one of them, by God, because I know BBK. He actually said it in an early episode. It's like he, maybe not an early episode, but it was like a fallback episode, like an anniversary episode or something that I was listening to, and I think it was the launch of Taken King actually, because they were talking about like the first episode. Mm-hmm. But either way, it's like he calls it Destiny the Game. I think is BBK's podcast. DTG. No, Destiny the Show, DTS. There we go. That's his podcast. And he had like the plan to do, like as soon as he heard about Destiny, he like put up money for the like Destiny the Show website to like post the podcast or whatever. So I mean, he is definitely one of the longest running. I mean, he's had a podcast probably for about as long as Dado's been covering Destiny. By God, Dado's been covering Destiny for freaking ever. I mean, There's a reason his primary YouTube channel is called Dado Does Destiny. Yeah. But BBK is great dude. He's also a fun fact. He's actually like, I don't know if he's the longest or like for real or if it's even still going, but he was actually the first Destiny podcast I started listening to.
Really?
He got me into the world of Destiny podcasts. So, some of his like opinions and such like was really interesting because he would do like Destiny videos like in the prime of Thorn. He was not afraid to use Thorn, except he stopped posting clips of him like doing trials with Thorn because people were starting to his comments were basically hating on him for using Thorn. So instead, he uses the Messenger, which was the really great pulse rifle from Trials. And I'm sitting there going, you're still using like the most overpowered gun, like one of the most overpowered guns, you're using top meta still. Mm-hmm. Because the Messenger was basically the legendary of meta like pool, basically. Because back then it was Thorn, Last Word, Red Death, Mida bringing, Mida I think was a rear at that point in time.
Boy, if we only knew, huh?
I know, right? But yeah, those were the top four. Like, I know those were the top four. Like, Mida and Red Death kind of may have swapped places in seasons. But yeah, it was Thorn, it was Last Word, it was Red Death, and it was Mida. Those were the meta exotics. And trust me, like, basically it is how it is now. Now there's no exotics in there. Mida is like still up there, but it's like Uriel's, Last Hope, Antiope, Mida basically is like kind of how the meta list looks. And, I mean, it's just... But anyway, God, good thing we based this off tangents, because by God, can I do that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Regardless of what happens, we're really good at this. We might not have very much Destiny content sometimes. Sometimes we might talk about games everybody hates, but goddamn, if me started, I could talk shit about games. Right? We could talk about anything.
We can make a conversation out of anything, by God. But yeah, it was
today. Like you dropped the fucking F-bomb, and I'm still in shock over that. Like legitimately, I'm like, oh shit! Like
I cannot wait to hear to get like the tweets and such, and like comments in Discord once this episode drops. I cannot wait for those to start coming in just see how people react. Like, I would love to be like the fly on the shoulder of people as they're listening to that, because I mean, little known fact, I don't use language. a lot of people listening for a long time, you may have picked up on that. Maybe I just ramble on too much and you just drone me out. But here's a little secret. Not only is it to basically keep things more civil and sounding and such, but it's for moments like that. Because it makes me do things, and when I really want to emphasize a point, I can throw in that extra word, and it's going to have more weight, and it's going to really portray how I feel a thing, because it's not something I normally say. So yes, I do try and sound like more intelligent, because there's always vocabulary, and the mind it's easy for the mind to go back to the curses and things like that. But it's harder to like keep your vocabulary large. Like that's kind of proof in a lot of things. But again, that's why. It's to make those moments more impactful. Because like I said, I would love to see people's reaction to when they hear that. Just the look on their face would be priceless. That'd be nice. But yeah. So yeah, that's a little secret.
I'm sure you kind of wish we had the video up so you could have seen my reaction to it. Because it was like a goddamn unicorn walked into my house.
Yeah, that's but yeah, that's so yeah. That, like I said, there's that little tip for you. Clean language keeps you blame free when the kid spouts a word.
It's always my fault.
But also, it makes it a lot more impactful. Like, I will also always give respect to those people that like completely don't have to use that kind of language at all to make an impact. But like I said, I keep it like that's basically my ace in the hole, essentially. It's like if I need to make a point and I need to like really like slap you across the face without physically touching you, that's how I'm doing it. And but that like accurately portrays how I feel. So yeah, there's like I said, there's that public speaking tip for you, like continued speaking tip for you. Little known fact. Yeah. So yeah, focuses, So yeah, I mean, if you're going to support a Destiny vocal minority, support the positive ones at least. Mm-hmm. The reason we've even gathered together, the Destiny Reset podcast is a great well of positivity. Which maybe not always positivity per se, but they at least keep things chill at the very minimum. It's like that's kind of how they go by. They keep things chill. It's like they don't really have like a promise to keep things positive, but they're always chill about it. So I mean, it's not a bad place to be. God, like I said, True Vanguard is just, I mean, his opinion's his opinion. I mean, and that's that. And of course, Crucible Radio. I mean, why else would that be like one podcast that these Destiny developers keep going back to willingly? What other podcast does that? Not throwing in shade, just to think. Like, you don't really hear about Destiny developers willingly diving into podcasts a lot. Deej might make an appearance, or Cosmo, here, there, and yonder. But essentially, if you go to these places where these devs and these employees of Bungie willingly gravitate towards, that's probably the best places that you're going to find positivity in the community. Like that's my advice there. This is like people like Dr. Lupo. Like Cosmo and Dr. Lupo are like if you listen to them, you think they're like neighbors and like the best of buds, basically. Because it is amazing, like, to hear them. Because the first time I heard them talk was Lupo was doing, I think it was a charity thing, and somebody won a thing, and it was basically to have a trials card where they were carried by Lupo and Cosmo. And so the winner popped in, and Lupo gave the warning. It's like, all right, if you plan on asking any questions about this, that, or the other, don't. Cosmo's here to play a game. And Cosmo was there to play a game, and that's when I found out Cosmo's not half bad in PvP. Like, he actually has some pretty good plays. That's not really a guy I want to come up across. But, not really cool dude. And like I said, these people that the to gravitate towards, that's probably going to be some of the best places to hang out. Like I said, listening to Crucible Radio, which, remember those numbers you need to track down and listen to. By God, do it. 126, 127. That is basically 3 hours of an interview that they had to chop into 2 episodes because Crucible Radio does not do 3-hour episodes. They're not us. They don't want to do that. So they took an opportunity. It's like, if we cut this in half break. If we ever did that, we probably would.
Oh, all the time.
It's like, wait a minute, we could actually cut this into like 2.5 hour episodes. So let's do that and just take next week off. It's like if we ever did that, I would probably agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've never went quite. Yeah, we never quite went that long, thankfully.
That 1 5-hour one was kind of.
Yeah. So I mean that was an exception, but at the same time that was like a very rare event.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't mind keeping it at like 3, maybe 3.5 pushing because people have commutes. So, and
people working warehousing and listens to podcasts,
There's that. I mean, and then you have, the fact that a little closer to the last half of the episode, there's not going to be a lot of like super interesting, or I'm going to take that back. Sometimes they're super interesting. It's like not super important things we talk about in the last half. If you can't listen to a whole episode, you can just skip over it. If you can skip over the last half, you're not going to hurt my feelings because, like I said, last half is usually where we're rambling. We're like, somehow, like, once we get done with, like, Destiny news or, like, something planned, you can stop listening. Yeah, you can stop listening to this podcast because that's when the tangents let loose because all of a sudden our ADD can, like, let wild because we have nothing to focus on anymore and we have nothing to keep us anchored in the moment. So if you've ever noticed moments where we just suddenly start talking now and like dive off onto these sometimes meaningful conversations, kind of like now. But yeah, that's why. Because like I said, I have nothing to tether me to Destiny anymore. So I have no focal point. So my mind goes places. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Does my mind go places?
Same.
I mean, we were talking about positivity and now we're talking... I don't even really know what we're talking about right now. If there's like really a subject you would classify this under. But you know what? I love you all because you still listen to us. I legitimately, I wonder myself, it's like, would I still be listening to us if I wasn't like a host? Like, if I was a listener, would I legitimately still be listening to us? Part of me wants to say yes because, I hope I'm that interesting.
Yeah.
Or hope we are that interesting. But part of me probably wants to say no. I'd probably aggravate myself at some point in time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
I mean, arguably, we aggravate each other sometimes, so I can understand that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But by God, I mean, but also that's like the news, Freaking the hype is, something. The Curse of Osiris is coming. Yeah. It is on the horizon. And by God, did you see this trailer? Like, I'm like scrolling like through my Twitter feed, and I see it again. The Batman Ninja thing? Have you seen this?
The Batman Ninja?
Oh my God. Let's see if this works. Oh my God. This is amazing. This looks downright amazing. Let's see. Well, yeah, there we go. You watch that. Because, my gird.
What is it, a YouTube video?
Twitter maybe, but yeah, it's embedded in Twitter, but oh my God, does it look amazing?
Okay, give me 1 second. Get a live reaction.
Yeah, because this, oh my god, I heard about it. I watched it, and my jaw just freaking dropped because it's like, yeah, it fits. It legitimately just fits.
Do I need to have sound? If not, if so, I can.
Sound might help, but I mean, you don't really need sound because it is in Japanese.
Oh, okay. Are you a samurai Joker? Did two of my favorite things just get combined?
You see already why it's amazing.
Officer Reese's?
Yeah, this is like...
Oh my god. I just saw the Joker. The Joker.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Now I know why this looks so good, because it's by the gentleman who put together Afro Samurai.
Ah, okay, yeah. He... Oh, design? Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. 'Cause by God, he did a lot of... Okay, I heard good things about also the screen.
Oh my
screenplay.
god, Robin?
Oh yeah, Robin. Yeah, the Robin, like Robin and Nightwing look. Oh my
Two-Face,
god.
Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah.
Gorilla Grodd?
Like, dude. Like all these people in it is just.
I don't give a.
Wait, who was that?
I don't give a
Sorry.
damn. I don't give a damn that if this is never is.
I know, right?
I watch it in Japanese
yeah.
and just wonder. I can put two and two. I can put two and two what they're saying.
I know, right?
That is fucking incredible. That's like the Guardians.
I know, right? Yeah. That animation wasn't made, but yeah, this.
Yeah, that looks.
Oh
man, I am.
This looks amazing because it is such anime. Like this is like such anime stuff, but the Batman characters just fit into it, and it is amazing. My God, that is just.
Yeah, there was Harley Quinn and the Two-Face and Gorilla Grodd. You heard some of the reactions I had. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Like Robin, yeah, and Nightwing. It's like, oh my God, like Alfred. Oh my God, Alfred with that little top knot is like cool. I mean, it's just an amazing little thing. I think it was our buddy from China, Holden Court, that retweeted that caught my eye, and it's like,
something tells me Buster this. Oh, I'm gonna make.
I brought it up. I could have sworn like something like this. I figured you would have known about it like weeks ago, probably.
No,
but
been a week. Let's say that.
So when you said you did, it's like, oh my God, finally, I can bring him something and make his jaw drop. Finally. But yeah. That is going.
Yeah, that looked great. I'm so, like I said, even if it wasn't subbed, I'd still watch it.
Oh yeah.
Like, that is. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if it's just as they say in Japan, an OVA or like a series.
A full.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, could you imagine if Netflix
like,
was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do this
I know,
in a series.
right?
We didn't just do Castlevania and it was awesome."
Batman Ninja Season 1.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
That motherfucker could be three episodes and everybody would love it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah. I mean, I'm wondering if it's just going to be like one movie or like maybe a 3-part OVA or. I mean, like I said, ideally, like a full season of this would be like.
Would be pretty dope if you did.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll take whatever. I'll watch it for sure. I would, like I said, it wouldn't even have to be subbed. I'd watch it full Japanese. I may not know what's going on, but it's like the first time I saw Goku transform into Super Saiyan. I had a clip on my computer, like back before, as it aired in Japan, and saw that like whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was not subbed. So, yeah, I just watched the entire episode. I didn't know what was going on pretty much any other time because it was Dragon Ball GT, and we were still on Z. All I knew, oh, that's Goku and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I knew. But by God, it still looked amazing. And like I said, I would treat this the same way. It's like I may not know exactly what's going on. God, this looks amazing. Oh my God.
So, I wish I had something to show you that would beat that. But have you ever seen Coyote Peter? You've seen Coyote Peterson. Remember the guy stung by the cow killer?
Yeah.
Well, now he got stung by the warrior wasp.
Yeah, I've been seeing that thumbnail because I've been starting to dive into some of the weird tube.
Yeah.
And by weirder parts, I mean like the quote unquote experiments videos, or as I like to call them, people with industrial equipment that have way too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what was Stretch Armstrong versus Industrial?
Hydraulic press versus everything.
Yeah, basically. Like, and they call them experiments, which they look cool. Like, you know, oh, glow metal ball versus a glass of Coke. Looks amazing, but it's not an experiment. Come on, I see what you're doing. Like I say, you just have industrial equipment, you have too much time on your hands, and you're making money off of it. I'm jealous. I am. I'll say it. Because it's an ingenious. But, and screw me for not thinking of it. But, yeah, some of it is very interesting to watch, but I also got into these, like, Bug Thunderdome stuff, like episodes, for lack of a better term, like Praying Mantis versus Black Widow Spider.
Oh.
Or Bark Scorpion versus Black Widow Spider. Spoiler alert, Bark Scorpion will frickin' destroy a Black Widow Spider, man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, that Black Widow was, like, lowered into it, like, Scorpion just latched on and just, dead. And it's like, oh my. The dude actually ended up missing the action. Because, like I said, he had just set down the spider and he was about to grab and resituate his camera. The spider was already dead. And it's like, oh.
You're dead.
Yeah. Like, I hate bugs, but for some reason, watching them fight to the death is kind of enjoyable. Watching nature be nature is, like, really interesting sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Watching a bunch of ants, like, absolutely destroy a spider? Oh my God.
Yeah, they'll take them apart.
Oh my God. And then, but yeah, like that episode of, what do they call it? Brave Wilderness, I think? Something like that?
Yeah, Brave Wilderness.
Yeah, where he gets stung by the crap. Yeah, that keeps popping up in my feed, but I'm never watching him again.
Ugh.
Watching nature be nature is interesting, but he's still a dummy. I'm sorry. Like, anyone willing to sting themselves with, like, the most painful things in the world? No. No. I'm sorry. Because that's just... It's almost like, well, let me inject myself with heroin and see how this turns out for the camera type deal, you know?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's still very fun to watch. You know, it's still always good to watch someone's reaction when the cameraman goes, "You okay?" I don't think he's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt the comedy of it. I just don't... I don't know, hurting yourself for essentially... that's just weird. I mean, maybe he enjoys it. Maybe, like, secretly deep down he's like some kind of masochist and, like, really kind of gets off on it. I mean, I'm not judging him for it. I just don't want to, like, basically. But, like I said, I'm not, not going to doubt it's funny because by God, some of his reactions to when he got stung by that other thing were kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of it's like, oh my God, oh, this hurts so much. It's like, you shouldn't have stung yourself with, like, one of the most painful things in the world. You Nimrod. But, but yeah, that's, like I said, I've been kind of diving and branching off into the weirder YouTube because Some of it's interesting. Like I said, I never knew what was inside of a Stretch Armstrong until that video.
Really?
Yeah, and it looks weird, like some kind of weird gel, like a really, really like a really weird gel. Like, whew. But yeah, I just like watching how things like react and like for some reason watching certain things just absolutely like explode and then just spontaneous. Like watching one of these glowing hot metal balls go through like 20 layers of styrofoam.
Yeah.
And just watch it as it almost like a cartoon, just kind of takes an almost directly straight path down. It's like that's very satisfying to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But yeah. So yeah,
That's why I like MythBusters.
I know, right? Like I especially do love like things like that. That the whys of how, like, you're really getting into like the hows things works is really like, which I think there was a show that was called like How Do Things Work or something.
How it's made?
Yeah, that might be. Like, watching the crap like that always interests me, man. Always. Of course, I'm a sucker for like a lot of like educational crap.
I mean, Good Eats.
Oh God! Like I said, that's why Alton Brown is the best. Not only does he teach you how to make it, he teaches you why making it in this way is like better or worse or whatever. He'll teach you why if you're lactose intolerant, you can still eat yogurt and make it.
And make it.
And he's funny.
Yeah, it's really funny actually.
It's like that man legitimately taught me how to fry chicken. Because I thought, like him, I always thought, it's like, why do you really want to put the seasoning on the outside of a chicken? Like, doesn't that kind of like counteract? And then like seeing Alton Brown pretty much say, don't put your seasoning outside of like with the flour. You're gonna fry it off, and it's like, see, yeah. That's why you season the chicken, then you bread the chicken. So that way, the meat of the chicken is seasoned. And that's not going to go away. But then you have your breading. And it does to that. But yeah, it's like that makes like some great chicken too. My God, man. And he actually taught me because I actually ended up taking notes on an episode where he took apart a chicken.
Oh yeah, when you butcher the chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like freaking like that taught me how to like take apart our turkey during Thanksgiving and like really salve and like to get some turkey salad and crap out of it. Mm-hmm. Like that's what taught me like to take apart a chicken. So I mean, I don't get a lot of like whole chickens, but I can because I'm confident in my capability of really deconstructing a chicken and taking the meat off the bone. Thanks to Alton Brown. I mean, like I said, knowledge is. I like learning things. Oh.
I mean, Alton Brown he taught me why I could eat yogurt. But my favorite episode was the honey episode.
I don't remember that one offhand.
Yeah, he goes deep into the makings of how bees are and how they make the life cycle and where it comes from and all kinds of amazing cool stuff. And I'm like, yep, Alton Brown is pretty amazing.
He is. My God. Best thing ever. Like I said, he'll give you facts and knowledge that you weren't even intending. Ugh.
So I figured I might as well ask, have you watched anything to speak of? Any new interesting shows on the horizon for you?
I still need to watch her because, by God, this week just was not the week. Again, thanks to my freaking sickness, it just did not want to happen this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still got the Punisher on the horizon. Still definitely do. So actually dropped the trailer for
Oh yeah.
The Infinity War
Wars.
Part 1.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. My God, yeah.
Yes, sir. That. Yep.
My two reactions. To that is, why is Black Widow blonde?
She went into hiding. That's
But
actually
still, it's
from,
like-
remember at the end of Civil
yeah.
War, she went into hiding. She's like,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah.
But still, she does not look good. Scarlett Johansson does not look good like that kind of blonde for some reason to me.
I love the Bruce Banner scene because it shows
Oh,
him
yeah.
I jumped. I kind of fell from here. And, I mean, the ending. So,
Oh yeah.
what? Where am I? Who are you guys?
But
Peter Quill's little
I know, right? Just
hands up,
holy
like,
crap.
shrug, I don't know.
Ah.
Fucking
Uh,
happy. So good.
and may I say, Cap is looking with beard, man. Oh my god, man! Like Chris Evans pulls off a beard really well. I never even realized it.
Oh, yeah.
Like holy crap! Oh, he looks really rugged and like, look, everyone just looks amazing, and it's going to be. It's legitimately going to be a nightmare of a story, man. Do you realize how many characters they're bringing into this, man?
Uh-huh.
Like, holy crap, everyone, basically from before, and then Doctor Strange, and, all the new people. Vision, and, congratulations to them for actually letting Paul Bettany show up in the flesh without makeup. But, oh my god, like, the scene where Thanos is ripping the Infinity Stone's head, it's like, that's... I hope he survives. I really hope he survives. Because Vision's my man.
They're gonna feel that. He's gonna feel that one in the morning. Let me just say.
Oh, good God, man. Oh, and the way Thanos looks, I'm not entirely sure I'm a fan of it.
Is it the Ivan Ooze thing from? Is it how Apocalypse looked like Ivan Ooze from the old school?
No,
Mighty
no.
Morphin Power Rangers movie. Are you hoping that
Well-
he doesn't look terrible?
Well, okay, that was kind of, like, part of this was kind of spoiled for me, to a degree, not really, but before I watched the trailer, I noticed an edited image of Thanos, Twitter feed, that had him looking like a very convincing Homer Simpson. With just a couple, like, they changed his skin tone to yellow and, like, the gray around his face, really. And that's all they really had to do. And it's like, oh. I think because I saw that first, like, the way he looks, Thanos looks, just doesn't sit well with me.
Okay.
It's like, I think it's because of that, but I don't know. But either way, I'm not going to let it mar how I think of the actor that's playing him, because the actor that's playing him is freaking amazing. Because I do believe it's still Josh Brolin, I believe, is the name. And he's been doing Thanos for the teasers, basically uncredited, and I think he's the guy that they're going to fall on to be in the Deadpool movie.
Yep.
And he's just going to be amazing in both of those things, and by God, his lines. I love the fact that in the trailer, you're not even 100% Thanos delivering the lines until you watch him talk. I love the fact that he kind of sounds like a normal dude.
Yeah. Like he doesn't
Because,
have
I mean-
any distortion or...
Exactly. Because in the Avengers 2 movie trailer, you can tell when Ultron is talking because of the Robo voice. In the first Avengers trailer, I mean, but I just like the fact that it's like, oh, it's a dude talking. Who is this? And then all of a sudden, it's like, he takes it, and it's like, really puts a smile on my face and, like, drops it on the gauntlet. It's like, oh. It's like,
yeah.
oh.
Oh, that's a problem.
And good God, they're freaking showing off in the trailer. He already has 2 of them? Sweet man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God, that's gonna be ridiculous. He already has 2 of them. Like, what is this movie? Like, Thanos just beats the crap out of the part 1?
Sounds about
Is that
right.
what this movie is gonna be?
Sounds about right.
And then he has to, like, go away for a year or whatever, and then come back, and then finally lose?
Yeah.
I mean, is that how these movies are gonna progress?
I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. Huh?
Because it has 2 stones. I mean, we already saw him just, like, punk smack people around. So, I mean, that's a curious storytelling point for me right there. I mean,
How are they going to survive this?
there's not a lot of people that can take down Thanos by themselves. And spoiler alert, Thor ain't one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think, anyway. Like, he may... Like I said, the fact that they're showing in the trailer he has 2 of them. It's like, that's
a big deal.
Chances are he's probably going to have all 4 of them by the end of the... Like, I might be safe, like, willing to call that. But yeah. That's...
I mean, yeah, it's a safe bet he's going to have at least 4.
But...
Because there's 5 stones.
Yeah.
I think there's 6, right? No, 5?
No. Wait. No, there's 6.
6,
yeah. There's 6 stones.
Yeah, because
one
for each finger in the center, and then the center has one of...
Yeah.
Oh boy, that would hurt.
So yeah, I mean, good lord, the fact that each stone pretty much amplifies your power, and it's like, oh, here's the second one to my glove. It's like, Christ, he's already as strong as balls.
Everybody's like, why doesn't he have his armor on? I'm like, he doesn't need it.
Exactly. Good God. Which I was kind of perturbed by that. It's like, he's in a tank top, it looks like. But, like I said, might go back to the Homer Simpson thing. But,
it probably does.
Yeah, the fact that...
The Homer Simpson thing.
Yeah, but the fact that he doesn't even need, like, actual armor. He's just wearing, like, a light casual armor. Oh, this...
It's business cash. It's business cash there.
But, like I said... Avengers Infinity War Part 1, subtitle, Thanos pimps Max the Avengers, is basically how I envision this movie.
Well, I mean, you could probably call it. It doesn't end well.
I know, right? I mean, it can't end... Thanos can't be beaten in this movie. I mean, he could, but... Why have a new part 2?
Yeah.
I mean, so like I said, it's a very interesting what they're willing to reveal in this initial trailer. Like, my God, I cannot wait. Like, also this trailer, I cannot actually wait to see the Black Panther.
Yeah, the Black Panther movie does look really good. Actually, I was gonna go see it anyway because I mean I like the character.
Yeah.
But
I mean, watching like, I think Chad Boseman like an amazing person to play that role.
Oh,
like really legit.
100%. He's gonna
kill it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, of course, that's like Marvel casting right now. Like they're like really hitting it on the head. Like when they're finding these people, and it's like, that's it. Ugh.
Yeah. So, I mean, now I have another movie to look forward to with the Batman. I have.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have been watching The New Girl. That show. It's on Fox. It's like I wouldn't say a romantic comedy, but it's like kind of like how Friends was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I started watching that with the Mist, and then I was then working and trying not to fall asleep in the shower. I've been pretty much working with the car this whole week.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten. I mean, I think I might be holding off till Destiny 2. You know, the Curse of Osiris DLC comes out to get back into Destiny. That way, I don't burn myself out like I did last year.
I am definitely, like I said, I did my stuff on my Hunter this week, but I'm definitely, because like there's not a lot I'm missing. I've pretty much ensured the fact that I have all 4 of the exotic emotes. I have 2 exotic ships. I have an exotic sparrow. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can hold off right now. I can like legitimately give it a time to breathe. Because I've always, like, even though I've kind of given it some breathing room, because I haven't, like, really dived in a lot. Certainly sure, but at the same time, I've always, like, logged on. I've always done the Flashpoint. I've always done the Call to Arms. I've always done, like, the Clan XP. I've done those things, and, like, I do a minimum of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I've done those in my Hunter, but I might just be letting it be for now. Then OB63 is coming on Paladins on console.
Yeah. Wait. Paladins talk.
Yeah. Paladins War.
This is the closing of the traditional RNG cast closing. We talk about Paladins or Warframes, just so you know. Warning.
I've got to say, luckiest I've ever been with the chest. I ended up, because I bought a couple songs ago, and I had like $9 left in my wallet. So I bought 400 crystals with what was left over in my wallet to get one of these new Galaxy chests, right? Because we talked about them on cast before, and they're like the Star Wars like mimic stuff.
Oh, did you get?
So I was able to buy one.
This is on console or on PC?
This is on console.
Okay.
So I was able to buy one chest, and I got Dark Lord Torvald.
Oh, of course. Fantastic.
Right, man. I was able to get
That's
Dark
fucking-
Lord Tor with one freaking chest. It's like, yes, thank you. I will take it
Good night.
and run.
Good night.
I was considering playing the lottery at that point in time because it's like, yeah.
You just
That-
got up and
that's-
was like,
that's
and
really
now let's
lucky.
hit the old dusty trail.
Yeah, it's like, I'm cool. Like, I
Look
got
at
that.
the time. It's time for me to go.
And this is the update where you like it's like all of a collection comes in like one thing, so it's only that one thing you have to get. So like watching that drop, it's just like, nah, it was just highly satisfying. So yeah, so I don't have to. I mean, there's still a couple things I want out of this chest, but screw it. I got Dark Lord Torvald. I got the freaking Dark Lord of the Sith. I'm good. I was actually able to use him.
Yeah, it feels.
Not very well, but because I haven't changed so much,
Yeah.
and but he does feel way better than he used to. Like he feels lethal. Like my God.
You haven't felt him. Have you felt him? Have you used him since he's since the change to his main
No.
fire?
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This is the first time I've actually used him in a match since he's been given like his fire, or since they've redesigned how he works. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I am kind of sad I didn't play him while his range was still busted. Because, interesting for those that don't know, Torvald now has some range to him, and he used to not have damage fall off.
No.
So he did like 200 damage a hit, no matter where you were on the map. He now has damage fall off, so he's not that potent, that lethal. But by God, I was doing some things because I went into a competitive match that I sadly lost. But I was up against 2 tanks and 2 healers. Yeah, that was and I was like still hurting them and like holding the point with them like a lot, like way more than I thought it was going to. Was a lone tank? No, it was not a lone tank. Was it a lone tank? No. There wasn't an R. Yeah, there wasn't an R too. But yeah. Me and her were actually able to like hold our own. But by God, was it hard to like actually kill them because I'd get them weak and healed.
I mean,
So that was rough.
I can't lie and say I'm not excited for Vivian.
She's interesting. I've played around and used her in the thing, the shooting range.
Okay.
She's interesting. Super accurate. I will say that. She's like super freaking accurate. It's kind of like using Victor.
Yeah.
Like when you scope in, it's kind of like using Victor.
But crushingly so.
Yeah, the fact that you're able to put so many rounds into people because it's like a 90 round freaking magazine. And it's freaking ridiculous. And the fact that but the one thing that kind of feels weird on her is like the fact that when you start shooting, she slows down.
Yeah.
So it's a little to get used to, but of course, I mean, she's pretty much part tank because of her half body shield, which
And her kit.
like I'm not gonna try and use her yet. Like it's gonna be like probably another week for people to get the Vivian out of their system.
Oh, yeah.
Because Vivian, I haven't really played a casual match, because if I do play a casual match, it's going to be to play Vivian, but I feel that because she's new,
It's going to be everywhere.
yeah, everyone's Vivian, and it's like, to get her. Because it normally is for the new character. But,
Just like with Terminus.
yeah. Which sadly I was able to pick him up. Everyone figured out, like, he's pretty counterable. He's not super OP. And then here I am just learning him depending upon all this simple crap that everyone already saw through. And it's like, fine, guys, screw you too. It feels interesting. And I'd say I cannot wait for them to hurry up and get OB64 out here. Because there's a lot of people getting new legendary cards. And it is going to be so dumb. In fact, there's not even that many... Like, this changelog for OB64, for, like, the champion changes, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes to champions in OB60. Only 6 changes total to champions.
Only 6?
Oh, wait, 7 changes. 7 individual changes, yes. Bucks are fiddling around with. They're reducing his damage and giving him more ammo. They're addressing an issue with Cassie's crossbow. They are increasing Drogos' fire spit speed. They are reducing the self-damage from Pip's potion launcher. They're taking down Vivian's LMG damage, and they're fixing a bug with Vivian's Sentinel. Those are the champion changes for OB64.
Oh, wow.
Not a lot. That's like I said, this is the smallest I've seen, like, the champions section. But by God, cards and the fact that they're re-innovating their card system, they are changing a lot. And a lot of people are getting some interesting cards. Let's see, like, Androx is getting a new legendary.
Really?
That, like, yeah, because, he was given, like, that, he's the only character right now with a melee. Because it replaced his fanfire.
Punch, right?
Yeah, he has a punch now instead of his old fanfire. So he's no longer quite like McCree, which is nice. But he has a legendary. It's like successful hits with revolver increase the damage of your next defiance by such and such, like by an increasing amount. So yeah, so there's that. Like basically, hits with your revolver makes your next punch that more potent. They're changing around. They're slightly modifying Vivian Ash's shoulder bash, and they're giving her a new legendary where her weapon shots will travel 50% faster and further, and they will deal an incremental amount of damage depending upon the level of the card.
Oh, God.
But they will not explode. So she will have a legendary card that will turn her flak cannon
Into a cannon.
into a straight cannon. Let's see. Barrack is getting a new legendary
Oh, boy.
called Hair Trigger that will allow his blood fire faster.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, they're just giving him a card that's just going to give him straight raw DPS. Like, by God, man. That's going to be the one Oh, yeah, and FYI, like for those people to know, like one of the catchphrases to OB64 is that Paladins is now even more free to play. How do they pull that off? Because you don't have to buy cards anymore. All cards, once OB64 drops, all cards are automatically unlocked. You can choose any card in existence, legendaries included, to throw into... So you can use any card you want. Any at all. Trick to this new card system is basically how they level up. They can all level up to level 5. And depending upon how powerful they are, depends on, like, how much damage. Like, for example, like I said, Barrack's new Hair Trigger legendary card. It has, like, how fast your blunderbuss fires depends on what level it is. At level 1, it's 15% faster. Level 2 is 22.5% faster. Level 3, it's 30% faster. At level 4, it's 5% faster. At level 5, it's 45% faster.
Oh, God.
So exactly. So like they're changing like a lot of cards to enter this extra like incremental thing. That's like a Victor's compensator card that reduces his recoil. Max level, it's still going to like reduce his gun recoil by 100%. But instead of being a 25% increment, it's going to be a 20% increment. So some stuff like that they found with, and some stuff is just going to be flat out better at level 5. But yeah, that's what they're doing. So now, whenever you get a chest, oh yeah, and I guess just in case like any of this might be like a pay to win situation, because you can actually buy right now Radiant with crystals, and that's where you normally get these duplicate cards. Well, in OB64, they're taking away the ability to buy Radiant chests with crystals. You can only buy Radiant chests either or with gold.
Really?
And the only way to earn gold
Play the
is
game.
to play the game. So any possibility of like that win is gone with that statement. Because that would have been a pay-to-win situation, because anybody with more money would have been able to level up. I mean, sure, it's random cards, but still, they would have been able to level up their cards faster with more money. Nope. Those that play the game will level up their cards faster. Or maybe those sitting on extra Radiant chests, because I still haven't bought the VIP pack.
Really?
Yeah, so I might be saving those 25 Radiant chests for OB64. But yeah, so a bunch of card changes. Bomb King is getting a new legendary that will increase the size of his sticky bombs, or the explosion size. Buck will be getting a new legendary where eliminations while he's in ult will reset its time counter, so his ult will last.
Well,
Yay!
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It seems like that's their modus operandi right now because of the whole Vivian's alt being, I don't know, forever.
Oh yeah. I mean, and it is literally, well, it's not forever.
Until it's destroyed, until she dies, but it also gives you 2 sentinels that shoot, so and they're explosive rounds, so it's more.
And let me just tell you, with the sentinels up in one clip, Vivian can absolutely murder Fernando, Ying, and Sky, and still have 40 rounds left. It only takes half of her bullets with these sentinels to murder, like in the shooting range, to murder Fernando, Ying, and Sky, like back to back to back in a triple kill. Half of her ammo. It's powerful, yes. It's counterable, yes, because again, you actually hit these things. They have a hitbox. You hit them, they're gone. But by God, is she powerful with them. Cassie is a new legendary where her crossbow shots will do increased damage from further away, basically. So kind of increasing her sniper capability. It will basically
Kind of like what they do with Ash.
Yeah. And like Leanne, one of Leanne's abilities that were supposed to be farther out. Drogos is getting a new legendary card, and he's going to be a pain with this card because, Salvo will activate instantly, always fire 6 shots, and deal increasing damage.
Oh, man. That sounds fun.
Instant 6 rockets heading your way whenever it's on or it's down. Oh my God. Eevee is getting a new legendary card called Snow Globe. Love the naming of this. Because her Ice Storm will deal more damage. It will cost 60% of her, but it will only last 2 seconds.
Okay.
So it can do, like, at level 5, it will do 150% more damage. Okay, also, here's the thing, because like I said, there's a difference between, like, the quick play or casual games and the games. Because in casual, if you've unlocked a card to level 5, like I said, this Snow Globe, for example, it will do her ult will do 150 times or 150% damage. But in competitive, all you're going to get is like the level 3 bonus, which is 100% more damage.
Okay.
And like all of the cards are like normalized to level 3 basically in competitive. So it's really going to add like, this is going to separate the tier lists in Paladins. Like there will be, because you know, in Smite and in MOBAs, there's set tiers depending upon what game mode you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Smite, like there's a 3v3 game mode, and there's only one lane, and there's one tower, and then there's like an objective kill, and then there's the final kill. It's kind of like playing Paladins, basically, except for 3v3.
Yeah.
Instead of 4v4. But it's kind of reminiscent of playing Paladins, except you don't have to escort a payload, you just have to push, basically. But yeah, that game mode, and certain combinations of characters are super strong. But then you get into like a more MOBA-esque game mode that's like, 5v5, and all of a sudden there's 3 lanes you have to worry about, and then there's roles you have to worry about. There's like a ton more things you have to worry about all of a sudden. And then there's the arena mode, which is 5. But everything's super simple because you're literally fighting in an arena with like no obstacles. It's just your minions versus their minions versus you versus them in an arena, just like a Roman Colosseum.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's kill them and push your minions to their portal. That's it. So different people are good in different situations because of those different game modes. So this is like really creating that for Paladins, I feel. Because like I said, you know, the snow globe in casual, if you got it at level 5, that's 150% more damage. But you're not getting beyond level 3. In fact, you're always getting level 3 in comp. Mm-hmm. So a different combination of cards would be better or more worth it than maybe this other. It's like in casual, this card is like at level 5 is like really strong, but at level 3 it may not quite be worth it as compared to this other card. So there's going to be like so many separations of builds now, depending upon where you are, just because comp is going to be limited and like normalized, while competitive or quick play is just whatever you have and want. And yes, you can make loadouts with all your cards at level 5. That's going to be crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like to have that unrestricted basically is going to be totally insane, and I cannot wait to do it. But going back, and Fernando, it sounds like going to get a legendary card that gives him like the Torvald treatment. Because it's called Dragonfire Lance, and here's the description. It says, Flame Lance now fires small fireballs that do certain damage every 0.2 seconds.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly. It sounds like they're giving him the Torvald treatment, which that's going to be super, super good.
Yeah. Thanks for making my buddy.
All right. Oh, yeah, and then Grok's getting a new card where a Spearing Healing Totem can now deploy at range, and healing full health players creates a shield with up to a certain amount of health, depending upon level. Yeah, good God, that's like one of his weaknesses. And now it's like, oh, here, totem over there, and you're full health? Take the shield. Oh, God. Grover, Efflorescence. It increases the passive healing area of Blossom, his healing ability, by, depending upon level.
Oh.
It's like, what the crap?
Oh, they're making the game so, like, oh.
Inara.
Oh, boy, man.
Wrath of the Stagala. Hitting all on the same target deals an extra certain amount of damage. Much like, there's somebody else with this kind of ability, where if you hit all shots. It's Ying.
Ying.
Like, if you hit, she has legendary, if you, like, all 5 hits of her shot connect on one target, it deals extra damage. And Nara's getting that. My gird. You think I'm not going to run that? I'm going to run that all day. And then I think Genos is getting something. Fire Splitter now deals this certain amount of damage every 0.4 seconds. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. Kinessa is going to get a card where her transport will be instant, and it will reduce its cooldown. Yeah, instant teleport. Which, I mean, that's great, because it's going to add, like, a whole new layer to her. Like, have her just, like, literally teleport from place to place and set up. Ooh, it's going to be nice. Lex is getting a new flaw. In Pursuit now deals a percentage, or a dependent percentage, of the target's maximum health in damage over its duration. And that's going at level 5, that's 70% of your health gone. At level 3, that's 60% of your health gone. Oh my god, like, In Pursuit is going to be so broken in quick play because of that, man. Getting into a gunfight with Lex and In Pursuit, an ability that doesn't miss if you're facing a target, and all of a sudden 7% of their health is gone because of this ability, and all you gotta probably do is, like, one headshot and kill a person. Oh my god. That's going to be dumb. And I'm going to hate that in quick play.
I've actually been getting good with Kinessa, too.
Leanne. Oh, Leanne is getting a new card. It's called Death and Taxes. And it basically gives her built-in cauterize.
Oh.
Your weapon shots reduce the effect of healing on your target by percentage for 1.5 seconds. Like, what the crap are you doing? Oh, Maeve is getting a really good card. Actually, I don't know if these are new cards. No, this one definitely is. Rogue's Gambit is like, eliminations reset the cooldown of Pounce, which is one of her legendary cards, and that's all it does right now. And Pounce is like her extra, like, dash ability.
Her dash and get out.
Yeah. So now it will actually increase the damage Pounce deals, and the damage it by is depending upon the card level. So that's going to be holy crap. Oh yeah, and then there's Street Justice, where Pounce deals a certain percentage of the target's missing health as bonus damage. Yeah, so are you telling me, like, if you pounce somebody at half health, is that like the full extra 50% health? Like, are you going to be able to kill them with a pounce, basically? If so, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's going to be dumb.
This game's going to be so fun.
Oh, yeah. Good God. Quick
It's
play is going to
already fun, but goddamn, it's going to be so...
Quick play is going to be ridiculous.
They just made a game that's pretty deep. Like, you know, you can play your everybody differently. They just made it way more deep. Like
I said, they're not limiting themselves now, because they used to limit themselves to 3 legendary cards a character.
Yeah.
They're not out any legendary cards. They're not changing how they're not changing the base fundamentals of legendary cards. They're enhancing legendary cards, and they're adding legendary cards. They're not taking away jack squat. Nothing. So they're, like I said, they're changed, like, who was it? There was somebody. Inara. Inara is finally going to get, like, combat potential in her bonus damage.
Yeah.
Freaking Grok's healing totem thing. Huge. Like, Grok's going to be, like, a really good healer. The best thing about Grok that I found earlier was the fact that he's hard to kill. And he can just kind of heal pretty good.
And yeah, he's tanky.
But, yeah. But with this new one, it's like, he might actually be a healer now with that. So, I mean, they're even adding layers because of these cards. And freaking, what's this one? Oh, yeah, the Makoa. Like, rather than, like, the fact that his shield will be placed, the legendary card, depending upon what level it is, will increase how long Shell Shield lasts. Which is amazing. And then he gets a new one called Davy Jones Luck. If your victim dies within a certain amount of seconds of being hit by Dredge Anchor, the cooldown is reset. So if you've got some team shooters, you get a hit, they die. The lowest at level 1, that's 2 seconds. Which, trust me, if you're pulling, if like your team is on a point and you're pulling somebody towards you, they're dying in 2 seconds. And then that means, oh hey, I got my anchor back, so I could pull somebody else to this shooting range, basically. That just sounds fun. Oh my god. Like, it's going to take a team, or like randoms. That just sounds fun. Maldumba is getting a new legendary card. that allows his Mending Spirits, which is his skill-based healing shot, where you have to hit them to heal them. Well, this Wakano's Curse basically makes his Mending Spirits like his Gourd, where if you hit an enemy, it's dealing damage over time instead of healing. So it's making him like just really offensive capable in that. Pip is getting a new legendary card called Mischief. Hits with your potion launcher reduce the cooldown of all other skills by a certain amount.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hits. And the lowest 0.5 seconds at level 1 of this card. The hits with your potion launcher is going to reduce the cooldown of all of your skills by 0.5 seconds at the lowest. Holy crap. Ruckus.
My man.
He's getting kind of a pretty good overhaul, sort of, because his Aerial Assault legendary is actually going to end up reducing the cooldown of advance of what it is by integral amounts, which is good. They're actually increasing the rank 3 of his Overdrive. Like by like 10%, which is the one where deal up to percentage more damage based on your missing health. Which I think right now is actually up to 30%. But basically, what that is, they're like considering that the rank 3. So they're increasing that from 30 to 40%. So at rank 3 in competitive, it's going to be 40% more damage. And then he's getting a new one called Rocket Barrage.
Oh, God.
This is going to be fun. Because you may hold up to 3 charges of missile launcher. So you can basically store 3 shots.
Yeah.
And missile launcher will deal a certain amount of increased damage. At level 3, it's 15%. At level 5, it's 22.5% more damage. Like, holy crap, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, you can just... Here's 3 shots of missile, which I think will kill most everybody. My God.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, I know, right? Ceres' new legendary is the Void Abides, where heal all allies within 50 foot of your Restore Soul target for a certain percentage and an incremental amount of percentage of the healing value. That's going to make Ceres like a really, really good healer. The only bad thing about her before is the fact that she had to channel on one person. With that card, you ain't even got to worry about that. Because everyone around that one person is getting healed. A bit. Shaolin is getting explosive arrows. Impaler arrow now explodes on contact for an additional incremental amount of damage and knocks back all enemies in the radius, but can no longer stun. And then Hands, which ended up being a legendary card that increased killing an enemy with Planted resets the cooldown of Planted, which is like his best ability ever. Yeah, what are they doing? Oh, it will now increase the damage an incremental amount of Planted. Like, oh, fantastic. That's great. Fantastic. Sky's preparation is getting changed, where preparation reduces all cooldowns by 100% when you get a kill. And now it will heal her for a variable amount. Smoke and Dagger will be her new legendary, where Smokescreen will actually deal an incremental amount of damage as it deploys. That is going to make her mean, man. Like, being able to, like, throw a smokescreen on somebody and have that detonation damage people is going to be, like, big. That just gives her another tool in her arsenal. Strix's legendary color, legendarized use, will basically make his flare a more offensive tool instead of a revealing tool.
Oh, so now you can set people on fire.
Yeah, because it will increase the projectile of speed of flare by 100. Increases damage by an incremental amount. At level 5, it's a 450% level increase. At level 3, it's a 300% damage increase. Holy balls.
Yeah.
And it will reduce its cooldown by 10 seconds. Isn't that like a 3 to 4 second cooldown then?
Yeah,
Holy
I
balls.
think it might be 6. I think it's on a 16-second.
Okay. So, but still, that's going to be like...
Ridiculous.
That's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah. It's going to make holding a point real painful.
Oh god, and now I know. Like since I've also found a new target to ban in comp. Talus. That annoying little bastard, man. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
He's just so annoying, and he have such instant damage output. But his ult,
His hit and run is ridiculous.
almost made me mad. I mean, the guy that was playing against me, I think it was a casual match, but the guy that was playing against me I had like much respect for. He ulted me as I was coming out of spawn. So
Oh, so you couldn't move.
he was at his spawn, and he actually ulted me as I was like 5 steps out of spawn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I couldn't move because it locks you in place. But all of a sudden, he, as a flank, had the advantageous position in our spawn in like 2 seconds, and it's like, oh my god, this character is dumb. It's like, yeah, he's pretty lethal, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that he could
I'm so
crap-
deep behind the lines that fast.
Exactly. It's like he's just instantly behind. It would take a coordinated team to fight against that kind of flanking capability. And oh my god, like I said, if I get a ban, if I'm like first pick or first ban, it's Talus. Talus for sure. Screw that guy. It's just, oh my god.
Yeah.
He's getting a new legendary with nothing personal, which will reveal targets that are below 65% health, and charges ultimate faster. Which reminded me of that because, he's going to be able to be even more annoying.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
More.
Yeah. Terminus is getting a new legendary card, Seething Rage, which he will be able to attack a certain amount faster when you have no charges of Calamity Blast stored.
Okay.
So you'll be able to swing faster and put out more damage if you don't have any stored shots. Then his damage reduction is with... All right. Torvald is getting a new legendary called... I love the name of it because it's called Thanks Grandpa. And it increases the duration of protection by an incremental amount. It all makes it to where protection grants CC immunity. That's going to be pretty strong. Like, that's going to be a pretty good, because at rank 3, so at comp level, it's going to increase the duration of protection by 2 seconds. This is a 1 second skill. That's like 3 seconds that you're going to be able to have a shield on you. And as long as that shield is up, you can't be crowd controlled. It's going to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
And then in quick play, at max 3 seconds added. That's 4 seconds total. Holy crap. Oh my god. And Tyra's getting a nasty legendary card called Burn Monster.
Huh.
Where her firebomb will cripple enemies and deal amount of extra damage.
Cripple?
Cripple. So you're going to be walking really slow out of that fire radius.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be nasty, my god.
Enjoy that.
Victor is getting a new legendary even. Which there is no bad Victor legendary card right now.
Nope.
There's some you might want to use more than others, but there's no bad one. That's not changing, I don't think. Because this new one is called Shrapnel. And this is his frag grenade's area of effect by 40%, and will deal a flat amount of extra damage. At comp level, it's 200 extra damage. It's 800 damage, I think, for his grenade. Because I think it's a sicking damage ability.
Yeah.
So an extra 200 damage at comp? That's 800 freaking damage. Just, and it's 40% bigger? It's holy man. That's a little dumb.
Yeah, it's a lot dumb.
Holy balls. Because, I'm sorry. No. His frag grenade deals up to 750 damage. That's almost 1,000 extra damage. Just hold this. And nifty thing about his frag grenade is that affected enemies for 4 seconds take 15% increased damage from Victor.
Oh.
So a frag grenade that can hit more people, do more damage, And at maximum, it does an extra 300 more damage, which is over 1,000 damage. Holy balls, man.
It's going to be a fun game.
Oh, God.
It's going to be fun.
Vivian is getting a great new legendary. Even she's getting a new legendary card. They just put her out and she's getting a new legendary card. It's called Booby Trap. If an enemy is within 20 foot of your sentry drone, it's dealing damage.
Wow.
It makes her a trapper, which is great. Okay. No, this is even a new one. Willow's getting a new card. This is going to be so dumb. This is going to infuriate me. I already see it, because Dead Zone is a pretty dumb ability. But this legendary card, Nightshade, changes Dead Zone. And it changes Dead Zone to where the initial explosion of Dead Zone will deal damage. I'm going to be infuriated by that, for sure.
Yeah, because it stops you from healing, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, here's at rank 3, 600 damage for an explosion. Oh, and you're 100% anti-healed now for, till you get out. Good luck, buddy. It's like if she needed anything to make her more annoying.
Enjoy that.
And then Ying, change. It sounds like, okay. Shatter now instantly heals your target for a certain amount of health per active illusion, but consumes your illusions.
Okay.
This is going to make her a super good healer.
Oh, yeah.
Also. You got 4 illusions out there. I mean, it gets rid of your offensive capability because I think it completely changes Shatter. But you have 4 illusions out, and those illusions are healing 800. That's going to be able to keep a tank alive. And then Zin's new legendary card, Yomi. It changes his weapon to where your heavy hit, which I think is the last hit of his 3-hit combo, passes through enemies, will deal an incremental amount of extra damage, and will have no range limit. So here's just a trailing flames that will just travel across the map until it collides with something.
Oh my god.
Huh. And yeah, so that's oh yeah, and I will say now I have now that I've seen Game of Thrones, I definitely do now get the White Walker reference in Inara's skin because Hi-Rez is very tongue-in-cheek on things. So the fact that they named it Ice Walker Inara as a skin, yeah, I now know that that's no coincidence.
No, now you get the aesthetic.
Oh yeah. The aesthetics, as soon as I saw them, I called back to that skin, and it's okay, yeah, that looks kind of similar, but it's not because of that, right? But then I saw the name again, and it's oh, no, yeah, that's definitely a Game of Thrones reference.
It's 100% a Game of Thrones reference.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Like I said, I saw Ice Walker, and it's yep, okay, yeah. And they're coming out with a Christmas chest. New VIP rewards, Tier 4 is going to be a Divine Saracen. It's going to be a Smite themed Saris, so she's going to be in white and gold robes and crap. Looks good. So yeah, a few general like I said, the meat of this of OB64 is cards.
Nice.
And they're just completely changing how their cards work, basically, and saying, here you go. Have fun. Good luck.
Enjoy yourself.
Because like I said, it's going there. It does simplify the meta of Paladins, because the loadout meta of Paladins has you picking certain cards and applying certain levels. This kind of, at least in the competitive scene, because all of your cards will average to level 3. So every card you have will have a level 3 effect. So that just means pick a card, because, again, there's now no limit to what card you can pick. So, and they're getting rid of an entire currency, which is a great directional step. like fewer currency is definitely very bueno. Less things to earn. I mean, hopefully they kind of increase increase how much gold you get per match to maybe be able to get more chests a little easier. Like for every card, I think they made mention every card you have unlocked. Like once Cards Unbound comes out, for every card you have unlocked, you will get the level 3 version of that card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, every card you have unlocked will be at the level 3 version when Cards Unbound comes out. So you'll be able to have the level 3 version. So you have a jump start. Like cards you already have unlocked at level 3 with the new system. I think this includes legendaries too. I think. And then, like I said, any essence that you have will be converted in a 1-to-1 ratio for gold.
That's pretty awesome.
Which right now, I have enough essence on me. Like, that if this happens, I'll be able to buy like 10 radiant chests. Like, as long as they don't like screw around with the price of, which I don't think they've mentioned price changes. But yeah, so I'll be able to buy like as soon as this happens, because I've been trying to save up essence for buying like legendary cards that are like important. But yeah, now that they're and this just makes it great, because this means you can just screw around and find out like how cards work and how they change, especially for legendaries. The fact that all legendaries will just be usable, that's a huge thing. Because like I said, legendaries, well, we've said like this game like has like a variety of playstyles for characters, and really stems off of how you play into a legendary, because that's like usually what enhances your playstyle the most. Because, you know, like Drew likes the Victor card where you do more damage when you aim down sights. Or did. I liked the Victor card where you do more damage while you hip fire, because it was a bigger damage bonus. But aiming is an easier thing to do with Victor. It's like more accurate. So, I mean, there's pluses and bonuses to how to play Victor. And even though that's small things, that's still two different like mentalities to how people are playing Victor. A person that's using the aiming down sights card, you can actually stay back from longer distance because you're more accurate. People like me using more damage, or that want more damage, has to get up more close, because, trust me, this weapon hip-fired has a massive freaking spread.
Oh, the box is huge.
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, but like I said, that's just a small example of how play is different. And you'd be able to get into that from the start. You can find out how you like to play a champion with a legendary. And it's going to be chaotic as crap. Like when this first drops, it's going to be ridiculous. Oh my god. Like, it's going to be dumb. And it's going to be great. It will be great. It will. Like, there's no doubt about that. But, yeah. It's coming. Like I said, I think these patch notes are listed for next, which is usually the PC release. So, considering we just recently got OB63, and OB63, that release date was set for November the 15th. Oh, come on. Thank you. November the 15th. So, yeah, 2 weeks. So, yeah, enjoy Curse of Osiris for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
When January hits, we start talking about, stuff again. Like I said, if you've been waiting on, if this isn't, and its limitedness, on how it started you is one reason you didn't want to play Paladins, try it now. Like I said, this is, it's the most free it's been. You're still going to be limited on characters. Oh, the characters are not free. Technically they can be, just with time. But at the same time, you're still spending something, whether it's time or money. But yeah, like I said, this is the time to give it a shot. All your rotations and characters are going to have all their cards and legendaries. You're going to, like I said, this is the time to jump in, because this is just, you can just pick whatever, throw it on there, see how it works, go in, pick and choose what you want. And it's, like I said, it's going to be fun, especially once like these level 5s start coming around. Oh, and I can't buy Radiant chests with diamonds. Oh, it's like, thank you. Thank you. It's like people with their wallets are not going to have an advantage. And that's fantastic.
So, Dad, you feel good about letting all the information out of your body? Because it seems like you've been holding that in for a week, buddy.
Jesus, so much information. That's not even covering what's coming out in the division. But really nobody cares about that game, which is sad. But either way, it's what you... Okay, I'll just real quick. 1.8 the division's coming out. I think it's a free update. They're actually coming out with new in-game, new PvP, new like exotics, a new like level of basically a new power level, a new area to explore. Actually, so it's an entirely new map area. And it's coming out probably around the same time, probably in the next week or two. And it's like, holy crap, dude, there's so much crap coming out this month. It's a little ridiculous. And people that have been playing PUBG on PC, it's coming out very soon for Xbox. Like, within the next week. So, I mean, holy crap, there's just a lot of information to take in right now.
Do you have anything left to say to the Revolution after a 3-hour and 30-minute tirade between the two of us? Do you have anything? Any closing words? Any place, anywhere they can find you if they want to talk to you, or maybe have a discussion?
Yeah, if you want to find me, as if I haven't talked enough. I know I've been talking heavily, and I do apologize. I will say that as some of my parting words, because we've done 3.5-hour podcasts before after this much. And by God, is my throat strained right now.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God.
I've had to pee for like the past half hour.
And yeah, like I said, that's how I know I've had like a lot of information stuck in me, and I've like kind of taken over and talking, because my voice is so strained right now. I need to not talk for like the next day and a half.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it, buddy?
If you want to, I will gladly type at you. If you want to talk to me, you can find me under DES_Raven. I will so gladly type with you right now. By God, please let me type at you, because talking. Oh my God, Buster, take over. Where can they find you, buddy?
You guys can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13. That's BusterKnuckle13. Find Raven and I, because Raven has now taken to the Twitter. Thank you, baby, RNGesus. At the RNGcast. You can email us, therngcast@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. You can find us on Discord. I think we have an active invite pinned to our Discord. If not, please let me know, and I will quickly fix the situation. Other than that, if you would like to support us with a monetary of money, you may do so. We don't require it. We'll always be here for you. You can go to patreon.com/therngcast. And that being said, this is another long episode of the RNG cast. And I think we're out.
Later, man.
See you all next fucking week. The episode shall be called Raven Drops the F-Bomb. Raven lays an F. No. Quote the Raven, F you more. Yes.